This is waiting for Zen.
Yes, I know. I know. Alright, there we go. Should be ready to go now.
Alright. Off we go then.
What was that? Hello, Sparta.
Yeah, I haven't gone to the old grave yet.
Mangler, when did you start this? Were you not here for last stream?
Started this 2 streams ago, actually. But the first stream that I did, it was technically a mercenary stream because it was finishing the game. Flip that one.
Hello, Triple, how you doing? Good to see you again. Yeah, my mom ended up taking the car my car to go check out for AC, and they're like, we're gonna charge $2,000 to fix your AC compressor. I'm not paying $2,000 for a fucking AC compressor change. If I need AC that badly, I'll buy a little handheld fan. I'm decent. What about you, Zam Mingler? I'm doing fine for the most part. 2K is wild, bro. I'm not paying 2K to get a fucking AC compressor fixed. Winter's coming. I'll buy a. I can buy an ice chest, put some ice in there, and some water for a fucking not even a % of that cost.
I mean, summer's almost over. You just have to hold out until the end of August. That's not very long. Plus, temperatures dip after the end of summer anyway. They don't get hotter in September.
It's all like, I'm just like, yeah, no, I am not paying for AC right now in particular. Fuck that. I won't even pay for AC during summer. I'm a shut-in.
Buy one of those high yield fans and just, you know, fucking tape it in your car or something.
I'm just gonna buy like a battery fucking fan and just put it in my car. It effectively gives me the same results. I'll just open the, don't you all have windows? No, for reals, man. Like, yes, when the car's closed, I'm dying, but once I turn on the windows and start driving, like, the air circulates itself. It's fine. Granted, sometimes I come out of my fucking car, like, fucking caked in sweat, but, you know, that is a price I've chosen to pay. It's okay. I bought a new deodorant stick, so no one else has to suffer it. Bruh.
I have a lot of stuff that will help me kill this enemy.
Isn't that the whole point of Sekiro? Is like you're supposed to use items in tandem with sword-like ability?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't have to. The game's built to where you're not needed to. It will make the game a little bit more difficult, but it's not necessarily super difficult, except for certain enemies, I would say. Certain enemies you have to use items, like the Headless, for example, because they're like an aberration type enemy, and the only way to kill them is with like divine-based powers.
And what, you don't have divine powers normally?
No, you have to put an item called Divine Confetti to give it the properties.
Are you serious?
Oh. Yes. It's literally the reason why none of the Ashina soldiers can kill them. They leave a message, I think, at one of the end of the... Oh my god. At one of the end of the outposts that they're at, saying, like, they cannot kill the Headless, they have no hope. And there's, like, a Divine Confetti right next to it. You pick it up, and then it does damage to the Headless.
We can't kill the Headless, we have no hope. Also has the one item they need to kill the Headless.
I'd imagine that they probably didn't have a priest or someone that knew any of this information, so they were like, yeah, whatever. Which is funny, because it's not like they haven't been, you know, messing around with a lot of, like, spiritual or supernatural stuff. Like, their leader, Ganishiro Ashina, has literally traveled to Fountainhead Palace. He's gotten access to the Lightning of Tomoe and a bunch of other stuff like immortality. So the idea that there's this undead thing walking around that can only be hurt with, like, a specific item shouldn't be, like, you know,
that's weird.
Morale breaking for them.
Chat's weird. By AC, do you mean air conditioner? Yeah, I mean my car's air conditioner. Cause my mom my mom took it to go get it checked out by a mechanic. So I gotta drive like an hour to college and back. Like when school starts, 3 times a week. And so having the AC would probably be good for that, but I casually point out that my classes don't start until the end of August. So like by the time I would start class, it's probably going to be a lot cooler. And then my last semester of college is a spring semester, assuming everything goes well. So like it's not going to be anywhere near as hot in the winter spring era. So I don't really need the fucking AC. Did anyone answer Neil's question? Not yet. I'm too busy working on college stuff. I'm technically working on my final right now. I just got a bullshit 8 pages of a teacher explaining the issues with special students and how to do a lesson plan that incorporates everybody effectively.
Okay, so apparently I've got like 5 or so viewers on Twitch, and they're looking at my no mic stream, even though I said it was a no mic stream.
They're probably just
So
watching you. They're probably just watching your gameplay, yeah.
No, like they're commenting in the Twitch, and I'm just like, guys, I can't do both of these things. Streaming on YouTube too.
What are they even saying? Let me see.
They're just like, there's this guy that's been coming by that's been trying to support me on Twitch, because he wants to help advertise, and I'm just like, thank you, but I'm not interested.
Parasites.
I mean, I stream. What?
Sorry. Continue.
Well, I was not interested. But no, thank you.
Parasite.
And he's just like, hey, I support you on Twitch. You support me, and I'm like, what do you mean I support you? I barely even know you.
Kicking me sounds annoying. He does no harm. It's not like Vander does anything on Twitch.
It's
Persona 3 is mid, by the way. Facts. No,
Well,
Persona 3's issue
3.
is that its early game is dog shit, but like once you get ironically enough, Persona 3 is one of those games where they're like, yeah, once you play it for 20 hours, it actually starts becoming fun.
That sounds like a lot of games in general.
No. Are you saying Sekiro's fun after 20 hours of playing it?
Nonsense. Sekiro was fun before I even started playing.
No, like, most games, you can get some enjoyment before the fucking 20-hour mark. With Persona 3, the only enjoyment I got is role-playing with myself. Man, why Persona fans defend Day 1 DLC? Because you can usually get it with, like, the fucking special edition. Dark Souls 3 is mid, 100% true. Dark Souls 2 is mid. Sparta, that's a trash take. Dark Souls 2 is better. Base cipher take.
Whoa. Can I jump on you? Oh, okay, no, even though you have a giant hurt box. Oh wait, I have everything I need for it here.
Look, if we're going to be, it's the common opinion. Yeah, the common opinion's usually fucking wrong. What's your point? Bro, you're a power scaler. You should know this. Well, actually, you're not technically a power scaler. Look. Technically, every Dark Souls game is good. It's just that Dark Souls 3 is the worst one of the bunch.
Where is... No, I don't want Vault Over. Vault Over is actually not that good.
And now I gotta go fucking buy more fucking printed pieces of paper for my cards. Because fucking after playtesting the new deck, it was too fucking weak. Damn it.
Telling me you need more power?
It does mean I need more power. Yes, I got destroyed by the other deck. It's too... The deck I thought that was gonna be busted was too slow.
Where did all these people jumping my Twitch come from?
Just be happy.
Where were they on Wednesday? When I was streaming for 8 hours with an open mic. They're just like silent stream.
The common opinion thinks that Itachi is Naruto's brother. Oh, let's be real. They have more things. They have more things in common.
The common opinion of something just means it's the most popularly held opinion. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. So it can be right, or it could be wrong.
Spartacus scale.
It's entirely
Fuck
possible.
if I know.
Okay, hang on. Let me reload this chat. Okay, there we go. The common opinion is usually wrong, looking at Cage fans. It can be.
Say what you want to say.
When it comes to a lot of video games, I've found, especially in regards to lore of various series, I found that the common opinion usually can be wrong because the people that are fans of the series don't actually.
Day 1 DLC should already be in the game for free, so that's kind of true, kind of not. So the problem is that Day 1 DLC is usually shit that is made on the side that isn't directly incorporated to the core game to avoid bugs and shit.
I thought I would have had a death blow, but I didn't realize he had a dialogue option. That kind of fucks me.
Ideally, Day 1 DLC would be with the game for free, but sometimes that's just not the case. And also, sometimes it's work that was made outside of the main game's development cycle, or development, like, requirements. I mean, usually Day 1 DLC only costs like $5 or something. Cap, back in the day, that was named New Game Plus content or New Story content. No, it wasn't. The common opinion is Forerunners not Mass Effect. I mean, they kind of do. The Reapers aren't all that strong. And the Prometheans aren't. I recently started reading Halo Cryptum and it's fun. Yes, Mangler told me Cryptum was a fantastic read.
Definitely a different kind of novel, because you don't usually get a... Well, I wouldn't say it's a solo adventure. Obviously there are multiple characters, but you don't really get that type of writing with most Halo novels, because most of them are about a military expedition somewhere, usually like a long battle on one planet, or maybe multiple, whereas Cryptum is written very differently from that. It's a breath of fresh air.
When y'all go back to college? Bro, I'm still in college. I'm working on my final right now. I gotta do a lesson plan of like 8 pages and talk about all the issues I can deal with students. Well, it's 20 pages max. 8 to 15 pages is what he's expecting. So I'm gonna give him like 10 pages. I think that's good.
Damn it. Oh, that's not fair.
Also, to BH, I agree with the Fetty, especially with fighting games. fighting game day one DLC usually should be like a secret character, that's fine. But like not all day one DLC is like fucking content that would have been in the game normally. So you have to understand, they're not making content alongside the main game in the main game. They're making the content separately to sell as a side story. It was never going to be in the base game to begin with. Like when you're saying day one DLC should only be in the game, you're basically saying either A, I get the DLC right away, or which you usually can get if you just pay an extra $10, which gives you all the extra bonuses and shit too. Usually gives you a season pass most of the time as well. Or I wait like 3 months for them to release this as DLC. See, back then content was made to be in the core game. This content usually isn't.
Dude, how are the numbers?
Mangler, you're static. It is returned.
Why are there still people joining the stream?
Just be grateful.
But I think you missed the point that I didn't have. Okay, you're aggro now, but you weren't aggro before.
Well, I mean, you hit him, so.
Oh, okay.
For example, I remember playing Dissidia Duodecim, and I found it way more satisfying just unlocking the character than paying for it. Well, okay, so then this depends on where satisfaction's supposed to come from. Is satisfaction supposed to come from getting the content, or is satisfaction supposed to come from playing the content? Like, yeah, everyone's gonna like unlocking shit for free. There's not a single person on the planet who doesn't like free. Speaking of Halo, I don't like how the wiki says Florian lifespan is only 100 years, even though it's clearly stated the parents of one of the characters have been around for thousands of years, lol. You wouldn't be claiming that the wiki is wrong. John Kramer would be like, some people would be so grateful to have one viewer, Mangler. They're making a new Saw movie, actually, for some fucking reason.
A few others.
What?
Hang on.
Yeah, they said making a Saw movie. Fucking weird.
Why is internet trash? The
Great
day of all
question.
days.
Well, to be fair, we have been having too much luck with your streams recently, so it only makes sense that luck streak was going to run out.
What are you? Oh, that was the opposite of what I heard. Yeah, you might have been slurring your words a little bit. I heard the complete opposite.
Bruh. Guys, Mangler's losing it. What a bunch of barnacles. We need a Mangler standalone game.
What would that even be?
And if you mean a standalone stream, like, he actually streams on Twitch quite often.
One might say they're all standalone streams.
Wow. Is there a Mangler play Portal 2? I only have it on PC, so we wouldn't be able to play that.
Alright, now this time, I'm gonna kill him.
Sure you are. I believe you. Go on.
Finally, the death blow. What I should have had at the beginning.
I'm 100% claiming the wiki is wrong. Bruh. Also, the other side video is in the I had to just edit like 2 more minutes of fucking footage, and it should be done. So, depending on how it will be possible, Mangler has PC or Steam Deck. Mangler does not possess a PC or a Steam Deck. Nah, standalone game would be like, okay, so in the lore of this game would be 78 pages later, but there's more.
He's done. See, for some reason, I did not have the death blow there the first time. It just didn't give it to me like it should have.
By the way, looks like the PS2 might actually be overthrown soon. If you fucking tell me the Nintendo Switch is on its way to overthrowing the PS2, I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
Well, it markets to mostly people who aren't gamers.
It markets
mostly
to fucking...
markets to your average family units, so...
Bruh.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Just buy a fucking Steam Deck. It costs 100 more, it does way more. I promise you can get the same games. It's on its way.
Like,
I will fucking stab you. God, I fucking hate how Nintendo gets away selling fucking gimmicks.
Well, they're selling it to the right people, which is the same people who aren't gamers.
Isn't the new Legend of Zelda game literally 30 FPS?
I think Breath of the Wild was, at least when it was on Wii U. Probably
Breath
not
of the Wild was on
Switch.
Wii U?
It was. It released first on Wii U. A lot of people forget about that.
It's the Wii fucking U!
What do you mean overthrown? I believe he means in terms of total sales. Oh, well, I went from all my viewers on Twitch down to 1.
There you go. Have any of you seen Kyle's video, Alex Mercer versus Cole video? I didn't see it yet. So, Kyle's gonna hate me for this. I have not seen any of his videos yet. I have not sat down and put them on and listened to them.
Shame.
It's kind of hard. It's justify it when I know most of the information in them because I'm the one behind the scenes helping him. Guess I got what I deserve. Nah, man. I fucking despise Nintendo as a company. Their practices, abysmal. Their franchises, barely passable. Their consoles, abysmal. Granted, the Wii U was fine. I actually didn't mind the Wii U. I think the tablet was a little gimmicky, but the gimmick was just, hey, here, have a screen where you can play your game instead of using a TV. That's a good gimmick. Now, before you say, oh, well, the Switch is that same gimmick as well. Nah, bro, the Switch is just the DS and the console combined. You just got rid of the middleman. Although, to be fair, no, fuck that. They didn't even make the best handhelds. The PSP and the PS Vita were better than the DS and the fucking Game Boy. Although the Game Boy is still goated with the sauce. Hello, Rockin' Alice. Yeah, Switch sold over 50 million copies this year. How is it still selling more? Who's still buying it?
Regular people.
Oh, actually, yes, I do plan to make a debunk to Kyle's Alex versus Cole video, and I'm going to invite Kyle to be a co-host to the debunk of his own video.
That's supposed to be a power play or something?
So Kyle, like, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to debunk with all this new information. And it's like, do you want to come be a co-host during that stream, or during that video? Maybe I'll stream it and be like, debunk live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Wait, hang on. This guy's shooting things at me.
Or if not, I won't invite him. I'll just call it a live stream,
debunking
Alex Mercer Wink, and then he'll just ready. We like to have fun here.
Wait, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You're just ignoring me, heard.
Yes.
Can we stop this? Oh wow! What the fuck?
Gerard
That
Valkyrie
thing
versus
is rather
Beowulf
annoying.
Mangler. Yes, yes, I think I remember. You were asking us last time. Mangler, go. Gerard Valkyrie versus Beowulf.
Beowulf wins.
There you go. Yeah, he asked that
You
last time,
you
and
die?
I was no. He asked that last time, and I was just
God.
like, yeah, I do not inherently know about Bleach.
Can I just kill you? There we go. Oh no. That was annoying. Oh, hello there, good sir.
Told those morons to give it a rest, but they don't. They just keep sending more. Such a pain in my... You one of them nightjar cronies? No.
Also, looks like they're gonna announce a Switch 2 as well. Seems like third-party publishers are worried because it's allegedly had backwards compatibility with the Switch.
What's yours?
I mean,
That's
if
retarded.
that's the case, third-party publishers shouldn't be worried because that would mean they wouldn't have to waste their time developing for a less powerful console. That would also break with Nintendo's mandate on playing their games, because that would mean that Nintendo is now going to archive their Switch games so that they can make them fully emulatable.
Why would they be
But that's against their
worried
policies.
if it? Why would they be
I'm sorry, go
worried
ahead.
if it's backwards compatible? Why would they not want
Fortress.
that? Or unless they, well, I guess all joking aside, Mangler's statements are true. Currently, third-party publishers get pure value from Nintendo's new consoles because Nintendo releases a console and they get to resell their games with like one new like fucking like edition.
Well, so what I was meaning is that technically it bites them in the ass to develop for the Nintendo Switch because they have to spend their time working on. Okay, so higher AAA studios in general would have like a less convenient time. While they do have the resources, it's more of a hassle that they don't want to have to deal with because they usually develop for more powerful consoles like the PlayStation and Xbox and things like PCs.
Guys,
So expecting them to develop for something significantly worse, while it does take less resources, is still like going to result in their game being presented at less value and less of a performance than what it's intended to be. For independent studios, they preferred to develop for something like the Nintendo Switch because they usually don't have the power nor the hardware to build things on more powerful consoles. But if you make it backwards compatible, you just basically told every major AAA studio, like, yeah, I mean, you don't need to develop games for us because we're just going to emulate our old ones. Because that's fine. Like, why would I waste my time developing software for your platform if you're just going to emulate something prior? Which, again, wouldn't be a problem if the Switch games were multi-platform and weren't underpowered. But they're not. And they're not. So, wait a minute. If they're worried about Nintendo's compatibility, why would they still work with them? Third-party developers that don't have the software to work on more powerful consoles, like indie developers would, more powerful AAA studios might break away. But currently, Nintendo does rake in a lot of consoles, which means more money that they can siphon off of them.
triple party publishers loving Nintendo's fucking game plan because they can siphon as much money as humanly possible from everybody.
Yeah, but they won't be able to make money with those own games. Through emulation? Because you
Okay, so
understand that, like, Nintendo, like, that I'm gonna be honest, like their backwards compatibility, I have doubts about that because I have I'm pretty much convinced that their backwards compatible plan is going to be a paid, like, not a membership, but it's going to be a paid software thing that you have to install or add on to the original.
It's like
I doubt those things come with strings attached. Sorry, Zim, go.
I just like the fact that you're like, bro, it's against Nintendo's policy because that sounds consumer friendly.
Well, it's not so much that it's against the policy though. It's because it's consumer friendly, though that would be true. It's because they have a stance against emulation. They think emulation is piracy.
Yes, when it's not from them. You understand that when they released Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and that other one, they were emulated, right? That was with emulation. That wasn't like actually the original core code.
I understand that, but it was promoted in a port. It was not backwards compatible. They emulated the game and then released it as a port to the console,
Correct me
rather
if
than
I'm
making
wrong,
it
but didn't
available
the
via the
Wii U,
software.
didn't the Wii have GameCube backwards compatibility?
It did. That's when they stopped. Was well, technically with the Wii U, if you want to be fair, because the Wii U was backwards compatible with the Wii.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. God, I fucking hate you Nintendo fans so fucking much.
They've only ever been backwards compatible to one
You guys are
generation,
just as
and
fucking bad as sports games fans.
that's usually every other generation. Well, Val was literally willing to help developers, not enough. Bro, just release them on Steam Deck. Problem solved. Entirely plausible.
Nintendo can't afford to have their games be released on anything else, because once they release their games on anything else, their consoles are gonna fucking die off the face of the earth.
They would. I mean, granted, they would probably still make a lot of money off of the average person, because the main appeal of their console doesn't appeal to your average gamer. They appeal to people who are not gamers by trade, to your standard like family unit of like some dude, his wife, and like one or two or three of their kids that have never played video games seriously
Yeah,
before. Like,
I mean, like, I guess it's cheaper than the other consoles, but like, who the fuck's actually gonna buy a fucking Nintendo Switch these days when you can go get a
what
PS5 or?
again, like the people I just mentioned, that makes up a massive amount of people that can play the games that aren't actually gamers. Most of these people are just buying like a Super Mario Parties or your Mario Karts or your Super Smash Bros. And their kids don't even like they play it for fun, but they don't even play that shit seriously. They don't care about software. They just care about getting something to entertain their child's attention span.
So long.
Bruh.
Whereas, like, your average person who does play games, at least as a somewhat feasible hobby, does not want to buy the Switch, and they have no reason to buy the Switch.
Oh
And they
yeah,
still make up a good chunk of Nintendo's thing.
apparently 50 million people. God, I hate you Nintendo fans. You ruined the game industry alongside fucking sports fans.
Why don't we just here? Wait a
Fuck
second.
the exclusivity argument with fucking Nintendo and Sony, or not Nintendo and Sony, with fucking Sony and Xbox. Why aren't we talking about fucking Nintendo literally just fucking surviving off mouth breathers and exclusivity? I think Nintendo also talks shit about Xbox getting fucking Activision. Like, motherfuckers, you need to sit the fuck down. You fuckers only exist because of exclusivity. I don't want to hear you fuckers preaching the values against it.
We all know if it time came to build a PC that Nintendo wouldn't be able to stand on its own two legs. I mean, I feel like at least Sony would attempt to do something to adapt. As much as they complain about it every step of the way, but they do something to adapt their hardware, and they actually have powerful hardware.
Sony creating their marketplace on the PC as they have to run on Windows, coping and seething.
I mean, they'd be coping and seething the entire time, kind of like when they had to build the PS5 and they had to have Microsoft build their memory unit for it.
Nintendo was 40 acquisition.
Save.
Was Nintendo 40 acquisition? I don't believe that. I'm looking this up.
No, Nintendo accepted the 10-year deal. that was made with the Activision plan after the acquisition was acquired. They might have been in support of it prior to that, but I'd be.
They literally made a deal with the Xbox to get COD on their next console. That's not in support.
No. So that's a deal that was made with Microsoft in order to ensure that COD games would stay on their platform. They're not in support of Microsoft buying Activision. Those are two different things. Especially not because, well, the ability for a company to just come by and spend enough money to equal the capital of your entire company is not something that's going to make you sleep at night if you're a game developer for Nintendo. I imagine waking up the next morning and realizing the person that you're competing against or the person you think you're competing against just spent the entire net worth of the company you work for. That's not
I generally
that's not good.
wonder why Xbox goes out of their way so damn hard to get these exclusive fucking people on their side. They don't even make all that much money off the Xbox to begin with. It just seems weird.
Oh.
Because we're not talking
They just like
we're not talking like getting deals with them. No, like they literally just went and bought the entire company. Like why? What is this flex
probably because
for?
they think they can do a better job.
It's like, I mean, how, like, because the Xbox, this current generation lost to the PS5, which I think that might be more out of spite with gamers, because there's not a significant difference in gameplay, and the PS fucking UI system is fucking horrendous. But, I don't know. It just looks like weird power play to me. Yes, the CEO of Nintendo talked with Phil Spencer and said that he's for the acquisition. I just looked it up. I didn't see these statements. Remember, a lot of games on 3DS Shop have become possible to buy. Xbox has retro compatibility that's automatically W or PS5. Listen, if we're talking overall, the Xbox is better than the PS5 console-wise. It has more features. It's less fucking tough to use. It has backwards compatibility. If you set it to dev mode, you can literally just emulate shit. Although I think that got removed recently. Although you could just jailbreak your Xbox and emulate shit anyways. Whereas the PS5 has none of these features. It just has literally exclusives and that's it. And people are just over here fucking salivating, just sucking out the PS5. Granted, I think both consoles are
So
fine at
this,
this point. I'm not saying the PS5 is inherently a worse console than the Xbox. I'm just saying that like overall the Xbox has more features.
this this game that you're seeing right now is using a feature. It's called an FPS boost. And as far as I understand, I don't think it's on PS5, though I could be wrong. Where it just basically takes 8th gen console games and I think, well, I'm not sure about 7th gen console games, but 8th gen console games, which are like Xbox One, PS4 games, and it basically takes those games, even if they're not made by Microsoft Studios, and it forces them to play at 60 FPS.
Okay.
So,
So,
previously, if they were not launched, they do work at 60 FPS.
so the answer is yes, it does have game boost. However, it's for specific games.
I understand that, but there are games that get FPS boosts that are not even listed under the FPS boost. This is one of them.
That's true. Kind of a person who owns the
But
PS5 and Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X got the PS5 in their back pocket. You're really only buying a PS5 for fucking their games at this point. Biggest Xbox flex on Sony, allowing emulation to PS3.
wow, it's awfully dark in here. Can I turn up the brightness? There we go. You're done. Oh no, wait. This is not the right area.
Whew. Yeah, no. I was thinking about getting a PS5, but I was literally just gonna buy a PS5 for one game and that's it. And I'm like, yeah, it's not worth it. I could do so much more with this money.
Why bother when most of their games are going to PC in 3 years?
Yeah, I might as well just upgrade my PC at that point.
Where am I?
There's four
Dust
plus
it off.
hours videos where someone went over Elderman cosmology and power scaling for various powers, magic is in the gods, and it's honestly well good. He really mentions he's going off pure lore. Really? Someone beat me to the punch. Thank God. Now I don't have to do it anymore.
When it's head canon, you might actually like it as in English. I don't scale Elden Ring. So probably wouldn't.
Why was Ozra downgraded on VSB? Because VSB just needs someone to downgrade. I don't know. I haven't seen the downgrade, but that's usually how VSB works.
Oh wait, I need to go do the thing. Go to the dilapidated temple, get the umbrella, and then so I could buy
I'm
some
just gonna
certain
fucking
items.
buy an ice chest and a fucking fan for my car problem. The ice chest for my cold stuff to stay cold, and the fan to keep me somewhat in a decent condition. I could literally buy a bag of ice and an ice chest, refill it every week for like 2 years, and it probably still wouldn't come out to 2K.
Hmm.
Also buy an ice chest though, because I fucking need I need something to keep my cold stuff, you know, cold. What the fuck? I sworn I saw it. I saw it. I'm not gonna give you shit for this one, Sparta. I thought I saw a scam for other side that apparently isn't real. So like, I'm not gonna give you shit for it. But I've been looking at other side scans for the past like fucking fucking 6 months. And in the last 4 months or last 4 weeks, I've been staring at them nonstop. Good lord, my scan file is so big. I can't wait to delete it all.
I'm glad you've come.
So what's wrong with the AC? You need antifreeze or something more to that, or it costs 2,000? Apparently they're saying the compressor's not working properly.
Give me your blood.
And fuck it, if the compressor doesn't fuck with the rest of the car, fuck the compressor working properly. I don't give a fuck. I live in the modern age. Modern problems require modern solutions, and that's a fan with a spray attachment. My ancestors lived in caves. I can live in a car that's slightly hotter than usual. Valve is making Steam Deck
Wait,
2. How about Valve make a third game in their trilogy?
so just Half-Life 3 then?
You did Half-Life Alex? No! I want the real Half-Life 3. I want the number with it. They say you can still drive it. Yeah, I already looked it up. All the compressor does is work on the AC. If that's all it does, fuck it. Okay, I found it.
Multi-solar system Mosrose
I
prints.
don't
It is
think he
pretty funny.
understands a few things here. And also, that's not him being thrilled with them buying it. He's thrilled because he thinks he's gonna get Call of Duty on the Switch. But why was Call of Duty not on the Switch beforehand? It's an older model. It's a fully paid off 2013 car.
Switch wasn't powerful enough.
So how the fuck is he assuming this is gonna get them on the Switch? What, does he think fucking Xbox is gonna put a fucking render like cap on it?
Well, it's probably powerful enough for the previous games, but there is a bit of an issue, and that is that the Switch or not the Switch in general. Well, yeah, kind of. So the games like COD in general are very graphics heavy, and they take up a massive amount of space for the average Switch. So putting all of them on there would probably be a little bit too tedious for the average Switch user. Thus, that would probably drive up the cost of a lot of their micro SDs for like 100 gigabytes or more. There's also other reasons, mainly being most of the modern what was it, CODs by the time like BO3 came around were like 60 gigs or more, which by the time the Switch released, we had already had several CODs that were so big they would have taken up all the storage space you had on the Switch, if not more. So I don't think Activision was ever like, man, wouldn't it be great if we could put all of our modern COD games, last 6 or 7 COD games we released on a console that doesn't even have the storage space to hold a single one of our games? Like, they would only be able to play the 360 CODs. Just those.
Oh, that ain't nothing. You could just drive with the windows down, leave a crack in it, and that's it. Yeah, no, dude, for reals, bro. It's fully paid off. You think I'm gonna fucking pay $2,000 extra for a fucking AC replacement? Fucking fan and some ice
What'd
costs
you say,
fucking like.
Mangler? Sniper, you really need to get better connection. Holy shit. You're missing what I say like every 5 seconds.
To be fair, that could be because we're talking at the same time.
No, this happens. This happens on the Twitch stream too.
Maybe his internet's not the problem, Mangler. Maybe you're the problem.
Oh yeah, but no one else seems to have this problem with my connection. Just
Are you serious, Mangler? I talk to you like fucking 20 hours a week, and for 20 of those hours, you're usually fucking like DCing or spasming out for like an hour
20,
or two.
20 hours a week. What is this bullshit? We haven't had a solid conversation in like 6 days.
And those conversations, Mangler, we literally fucking had a 7-hour conversation like last week on top of like fucking 4 hours every like 3 days that week. Fuck out of here.
Was that one of the streams? If so, that doesn't count.
Mangler, I've talked to you in 1 year more than I've talked to like half my family members in my entire life.
That seems like a skill issue. Also a you problem.
Mangler, the point still stands. I think I can speak for your connection here.
Even you have to acknowledge my connection is not always consistently bad.
Mangler, I have literally, Mangler, your connection's like a trap card where I have a 50-50 chance of winning or losing, and it usually loses.
You must have some really bad trap cards then.
Yeah, it's a coin. It's a coin toss trap card.
Oh, it's a coin toss trap card. Okay, never mind then. I was like, I don't ever remember having this problem when I flipped over a dimensional wall. It usually just works every time.
Oh, looks like TG&K was the guy who helped Kosi with his GER debunk video. Okay, so I'm going to say this very briefly because we've mentioned this before on Kyle's streams. Me and Kyle have watched that GER video and it was gross as fuck. But we laughed our ass off when we saw TG&K was there disproving fake scans. The
It was quite
irony
funny.
was palpable. Also, I feel like having TG&K as a backup in that video already shows some degree of bias. He does not like, for some reason, he's debated JoJo versus Kratos. I have no forsaken idea why, but he's done it. To be clear, most JoJo characters will beat your standard version of Kratos. Unless you argue for a higher dimensional Kratos or infinite speed. But even then, you can argue some JoJo characters are infinite speed. I don't know, it's a little weird there. Like, GER would just be one of them. Several other JoJo characters already beat Kratos by virtue of their hacks. The hell does that sound?
What are you talking about? GER just manipulates your perception.
That is
doesn't affect causality.
That is the stupidest fuck. Well, no. So this is where the video gets weird because, well, I'll talk a little bit about it, but without Kyle here, he can't give his own thoughts. He claims time manipulation is a superior version of reality warping above causality. So he believes GER is causality manipulation. He just believes that it's a subsection of reality warping, which I can see that logic. But then he asserts that time manipulation is a superior version of reality warping than causality manipulation. That's where I disagree. I'm not sure where that logic came into play.
That has to be proven in the verse, because not all verses treat causality and time at the same level. Also, causality being reality warping, I can see it in some versions, but in a lot of versions, causality manipulation is just the shifting and manipulating of things in reality, but not reality itself.
So, the reason he calls it a subsection is, this is completely headcanon on my part, is just to claim that time manipulation is superior.
Oh, so it doesn't have anything to do with the actual ability. He just wants to establish a hierarchy.
Yes, because he wants to establish a GER would not be superior to, like, the World and Star Platinum.
Fantastic. Disingenuous argument. Let's go.
Can Kratos even describe any of the dumb stand abilities? So, there are several stand users Kratos would beat, but there's also several stand users whose abilities would just completely destroy Kratos by virtue of how fucking stupid they are. Like, for example, Yellow Temperance, he'd probably use Yellow Temperance. He'd probably lose to fucking the World. He'd probably lose to the Lovers. He'd probably lose to... Like, think of a stand and Kratos will probably lose to it unless the guy's really stupid in how he uses it. Kratos would probably have a solid time beating the... What?
What's the one that Fugo has?
Fuck. Oh, you mean the Part 5 fucking poison guy?
Yeah.
His stand is Purple Haze.
Yeah, I was gonna say Purple Haze would probably break him down, because I don't think Kratos has ever dealt with a poison that, like, can itemize people.
I don't think Kratos ever dealt with a poison that doesn't cause him problems. Last I checked in the novels, a scorpion bit him and it caused him so many issues.
He was hit with poisons, toxic, and acid. He was hit with 3 different types of, like, poisonous afflictions. And he was affected by all of them.
I want to believe the Scorpion
not counting
was
the
like...
ones from Ascension.
I want to believe the Scorpion was one of those, like, scorpions that's like... It's like that cute little cartoon scorpion that's smiling. It's got the cute eyes and everything. It just randomly stabs Kratos' head.
It's like, why would you do this to me? No, he's just looking at it and it's like, oh, that's actually kind of adorable.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're adorable. Stabs him with the most painful poison mankind has ever borne witness to.
Why?
Just like, oh my god. And the Scorpion just looks at it like, pathetic. Zim, you don't get it. If there's a character that's a potential threat to their beloved Kratos, they will go out of their way to downplay and make them disingenuous arguments about it. I'm gonna say it like this. I think arguing for time manipulation being stronger in GER is not terrible. I've actually believed there's a potential argument there. However, where he gets disingenuous is arguing that King Crimson is not time manipulation. He argues that King Crimson is perception manipulation, despite the fact that we literally see GER rewind time in response to King Crimson erasing it. Every description of King Crimson's ability being time manipulation, and even the games and everything explaining King Crimson's ability as erasing time.
I mean, if you want to go by Kosu's logic, it doesn't matter because even though he just writes off the 5 to 7 times it's stated because he's like, well, we should go with the interpretation or position. I'm like, well, your interpretation is refuted with some evidence. I don't think this subjective position to things in lore needs to fucking stop. Okay, you can't make an interpretation about something if you don't have evidence about it, or at least you can, but there's no reason for anyone to listen to you.
Listen, if the guy is telling me he erases time, all the guidebooks tell me he erases time, and all of the fucking games tell me he erases time, I think he erases time.
Well, I would just say that, like, for example, if we were talking about like what Star Platinum's ability is, and it mainly seems to be the ability to like punch really fast or kick really hard, and you were to tell me that I think Star Platinum's ability is to, like, I don't know, send out energy shockwaves that cut people in half, and I said its main ability was to punch someone, and you came to a different interpretation. You just told me, well, that's my interpretation. I'm like, well, your interpretation is objectively wrong because every time we see Star Platinum attack people, it is literally just punching. like where's the evidence for your interpretation?
Yeah, so
where does it exist?
His position is that it's perception and King Crimson's ability is intangibility. Because rather than explain him erasing time where he gets hit, he says that he just becomes intangible for it.
Even though that's not what any of the guides states, that's not what like King Crimson or Diavolo states. Yeah. That's not what GR or Giorno or anyone else who describes King Crimson's ability states. None of them state it's the ability to be intangible. That's just an assumption.
It's not an assumption. It's a way to explain something when you don't just give it its normal ability. Because his position is that time and space are interlinked. So if you erase time, you technically erase the universe, and then the universe just comes back.
Dumb fuck doesn't understand that time is not in the same dimension as space. We don't interact with all dimensions. We don't interact with all points of time. How many times I have to explain this every time I hear one of these unscientific fucks come along and have this discussion where they think that time is intersected at a 3-dimensional access point. Like, you erase space, you erase time. Like, no, that is objectively wrong. Time does not exist in the same dimension that space does. What you're experiencing is one facet of time. You are not experiencing the full dimension of time.
Quite ironic from someone who defends immeasurable speed Shinra. Immeasurable speed Shinra. Anyways, I'm heading to bed later. Later, Sparta.
I think it's from Fire Force or something.
Good morning.
Morning, Kyle.
Physics with Mangler. What were we talking about?
We were talking about that wonderful video of GER's debunk because someone brought it up and I was just giving some commentary on it. You know,
where is the other guy?
I'm sorry, but Zim, you're just gonna have to accept it. King Crimson's just perception manipulation.
Man literally spent the entire video trying to justify his headcanon, the entirety of the source material. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that.
No. The entirety of the source material, that's wrong.
What was it that I read it from? Was it Eyes of Heaven or was it All-Star Battle where it's just obliterates time again?
It's I think it was All-Star Battle you were on. It just says like his ability just to obliterate time.
No, it's eradicate.
Oh, right. My
And
apologies.
hang on. I'll do one better. If I'm obliterating time, I am also obliterating your perception. There you go. His
I'll do one better. If I'm obliterating time and your perception, I've already obliterated your chest. GG.
Bruh.
I mean,
every single passive has
obliterated-
Dante and it gets a lot of views. Glad to see Dante is commonly agreed now as being strong. Yeah. Although Digital T really just blew up. I wonder why. Well, no, I know why. It's because his videos are so fucking short in comparison to everybody else's.
So the actual when it comes to obliterating time, if you're obliterating time, we would already assume a person's perception of time is being fucked with because time is being removed. That's one of the bigger problems with his argument is that his argument only assumes the perception of time has been removed because his own assumption of how time and space works, but his assumption is not scientifically accurate. This is one of those guys that goes by the mathematical model of how space and time works, where he thinks that, well, mathematicians have argued like length, width, and height are the three dimensions, and then a 4D tesseract is the fourth one, and I'm like, all right, prove that. Provide me evidence of a 4D mathematical model existing in reality. You can't. You can't because it doesn't exist. Or more accurately, we have no evidence that such a thing exists.
Kyle,
what we do have evidence of
Triple asks what's good.
is relativity.
What's good? Everything's good.
Triple's
How you
asking
doing?
what's good in the hood. Not just Digital T, others like Toaster. Who the fuck is Toaster?
A toaster.
Apparently he's a toaster.
I need to do something with this money that I have.
Actually, so just to be clear, what's your guys' stance on Minato versus Itachi?
Which version of Minato versus Itachi?
Why does that matter?
Well, it matters a little because one of the Itachi is dying, and the other one is immortal and has infinite chakra.
And one of them is literally massively faster than the previous version of himself.
And then it also depends on the version of Minato, because one of them can spam teleportation and do a bunch of other stuff, and then the other one can spam teleportation and do a bunch of other stuff, and is immortal and has infinite chakra and can summon the QB. Because there's reanimated versions of both of them.
Wouldn't you give QB to specifically base Minato as well, since he still has the Nine Tails within him?
No, because
reanimated
when he's dying. Because when he fights the Nine Tails, he only seals it inside of himself after he's already been impaled, and he basically dies almost immediately afterwards. You can give him Sage Mode, but not the QB. Because he doesn't actually have it for a long
Sage mode. Time. His perfect Sage mode that is buried in Jiraiya's in every way. I remember.
His perfect Sage mode that is not perfect Sage, because he's not very good at Senjutsu apparently. By his own words.
Does he actually say that he's not good at Sage mode, but
he
has a better one?
He says he's never been very good at Senjutsu, and gathers Senjutsu energy for 30 seconds and then blinks, and now he has perfect Sage mode. And I'm like, what were your standards for being a perfect Sage? Because I think you might have just had higher standards than everyone.
I'm not very good at it because I haven't been able to master it to where I can do it in my sleep casually.
No, seriously.
Minato, a YouTube channel, the guy who made Kumagawi versus Dante video, Okiora versus Dantos, God of War.
Why would he do Thanatos dirty like that?
Why would he do Thanatos versus Ukiora at all? What do they even have in common?
Ukiora doesn't scale that high, right? What is he like? Maybe building level? Maybe multi-billion? Maybe on the save block level? Maybe? Save block level?
Is that a joke? Is that a joke?
I don't recall Bleach scaling all that high in his early manga panels.
Yeah, because Ukiora, he was in early Bleach and nowhere else.
Yep.
Didn't show up later in the series, not at all.
It doesn't matter that Ukiora has a speed that can casually obliterate California. It's alright.
California is
It
like the
doesn't
size
matter
of
that he
like
scales to
the state.
some of the stronger versions of Ichigo, who later on,
Alright,
through
island
like
level.
quantifiable amps, become
Alright,
strong enough to fight someone like Yuha.
alright, so island level.
He
He is not comparable to fucking Yuha Ichigo.
No. You didn't listen to what I said. I said he scales to versions of Ichigo who later on, through measurable amps, become strong enough to fight Yuha.
Well, Yuha doesn't scale that high from what I understand, you know. He's what, like planet level?
I mean, if you think destroying the Soul Society, Wakamundo, Mukin, and Valley of Screens, the Dawn Guy, and the Garganta is planet level.
Mangler, he's not destroying it. He's just throwing it on balance to destroy it. He's not destroying it himself, Mangler, so he's like planet level.
Yeah, no, it's totally. He totally didn't say he was going to destroy the boundary that separates all of them, and it wasn't stated like 4 times and then reiterated again in the novels.
The novels that claim they're only.
And I'm sure it won't be stated in the anime either.
Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 dropped.
What's Baldur's Gate?
Basically D&D, but you can play it, and everyone on the planet's game wet over it because it's apparently a really good game. Granted, it looks solid. I'm not disrespecting the game.
Minato spin-off manga statements of these, though. I would assume regular Minato could probably beat regular Itachi. It might be tricky if he has to fight like reanimated, but then again, that depends on if you can prove that Itachi can fight like the full Nine Tails.
Are you saying Itachi doesn't scale to the Nine Tails, bro? But he was in the Akatsuki. They were supposed to be able to fight all the tailed beast Jinchurikis and tailed beasts.
Yeah, that's totally why that doesn't get like fucking slapped around by the war arc when one half of the Nine Tails beats the shit out of all of the other Jinchuriki and, well, not just him, but like fucking what's his name?
They Naruto all have to be able to
beats like half the Itachi before he even has the power of the Nine Tails.
They all have to beat the Nine Tails in order to be part of the Akatsuki, bro. Didn't you know that?
No.
They take out Tail Beast, bro. Bro, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
If only they were all the same strength.
No, they're just all stronger than the Nine Tails.
All of them, yeah.
Every single one of them is stronger than Nine Tails. They gotta be, because they have to capture all the Tail Beasts. I'm sorry, Mangler.
I'll still say it's the most convoluted bullshit that the anime.
And Mangler's gone.
With the 7 tails off screen, and we never see it happen. And I'm like, that's the 3rd strongest tailed beast. What is this? What is this contrived bullshit?
Are you saying he got off screen?
Well, I'm saying it probably happened the way that Yukio did, where what's his name? Kakuzu took most of the blows, and then Hidan used his ritual, because we see that when they actually fight Yukio, Hidan is the one doing the ritual, which means he's the one that basically led the blow that took her out. And she's like the weakest tailed beast. So I'm just sitting over here trying to wrap my mind around how the fuck he managed to accomplish beating the 3rd strongest one. And I'm just assuming it probably was something along the lines of, I'll be the meat shield and take all the damage. You just do your silly little dance with a little bit of her blood, and then we'll be fine.
Mangler, haven't you seen the set videos, bro? Akatsuki's got statements being able to take down tail beasts. Sorry, bro. They gotta scale to all tail beasts, bro. Sorry. It's just the way it is.
I mean, I guess they do, but, you know, it's Hidan just, like, kind of...
Are you really just going to argue that Hidan over here is just, like, body blocking for his teammates, and that's how they win, Mangler? You're not
No. I would argue Kakuzu is body blocking, because Kakuzu is, like, in order to kill Kakuzu, you have to, like, pierce his hearts, like, 5 times. So, yeah, he just takes most of the damage as a tank. They just have to extract a little bit of blood, get it back to Hidan, and then Hidan can just injure himself with his Jashin ritual. And then after that, they don't have to fight the tailed beast, because Hidan is just killing them with his fucking ritual. So they don't even need to fight them at all. They don't even need to be strong enough to fight them.
No. Shut up. Then he says that my connection is bad. It's not like his weakened body holds all 3 worlds apart. through power. You're right, it doesn't. Anyways, yeah, no.
I can't get to the headless.
So, after I'm done my Airsight video and while I'm working on New Vegas video, the first debunk I'll be releasing is debunking Kyle's Alex Mercer versus Wesker video. Kyle, will you be joining me for your debunk of your own video?
I will, but there's literally nothing to debunk. The matchup is still correct.
We'll see about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you get faster than 32 times the speed of light? Can you get higher than large mountain level for Wesker?
I'm going to explain all his. Actually, maybe yes, but I'm going to explain his winking. I'm going to explain how he winks energy to its highest possible. Wait, hang on. Can Bale kill Gerard Valkyrie?
I already answered this. Were you not paying attention?
No, that was Beowulf. This is Bayonetta.
Did he not say Bayo? Like, oh, Bayo.
Yes,
I'm sorry. When
Bayonetta.
someone says Bayo, they say Bayo like BEO. But when you say Bayo, you say BOBAYO, which sounds the same, but is obviously not the same.
I'm glad you can understand that I pronounce
Hang
things
on, I'll be right
differently.
back.
He's a runaway from the question.
Gotta use the restroom.
It's the same, but different.
It's Bayo and Bayo. There's a slight difference.
Ugh, sorry. Let me go to the restroom. Bayo killing Gerard Valkyrie. As far as I understand, she'd be able to speed blitz him pretty easily, but his regen with the miracle was kind of stupid, and his reactive evolution with the miracle was also stupid, because every piece of damage you do to him converts back to him as power. So if Bayo can't, like, completely, because you can't kill him by wiping him from existence either, because in Bleach the mind, memories, and everything is contained within the soul and the spirit particles, and they reduced him to nothing like Reishi, and he regenerated back from that.
What if I completely erase him in its entirety, though?
I'm sorry, what?
What if I completely erase him in his entirety, though?
I mean, you have to erase his concept or destroy the cross at that point to kill him. He has mid-godly regen, which Bale doesn't really have a way to get around that. Bale? Yes. You can see why that would be confusing.
No, Raw? Yes. Look. At the end of the day, all that matters is that Ichigo is trash. Hey, who the hell is this guy?
Lord Ishiness. It's a wonder he is still with
Oh, here we go.
Boss battle?
Is that so?
You're fighting an archer?
Possible.
Divine hair.
Oh, he's not an archer. Well, yes. He's a little more than an archer.
Wait, what's the kid doing here?
He was abducted at the beginning of the game, don't you remember?
Bruh.
do that, Lord Genichiro. Your victory that day means nothing. He will risk his
I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, since his life can just regenerate, or not regenerate, resurrect over and over and over. Oh. Speak of the devil. I definitely need a shave. I look like I've seen better days.
Yeah, your entire kingdom was ransacked and your lord was stolen, but yeah, you're right, that's the issue.
Wolf is not from Ashina.
Of course he's not.
I'm pretty sure he's from the Interior Ministry. Or wherever that is located.
The dragons possess
It's the same voice as kind of in Japanese. Oh, I somehow worked that.
Is Mangler gonna lose? Can Mangler beat the allegations? Wasn't Wolf found on a battlefield?
It was. But he doesn't live in Ashina.
Scores. Yeah, so hopefully tomorrow you guys will have a powerful video. You can all tell me about how bad it is, and then we can move
Tomorrow?
on.
I thought you said yesterday it will be out today.
No, I said it will be done today, but I'm gonna make it public tomorrow.
Damn.
Man, are you trying to suggest I'm
Playing
going
with
back
those
on my word?
semantics. Playing with those semantics.
That's not what I'm doing. This fight was hard for me on the first go. Bro, Kyle was trying to make me sound terrible yesterday on his stream when I was like, ideally it will be done today. He's like, oh, I see what you did there, Zim. Ideally. Bruh.
Oh, I see what you did there. Snakey.
Bruh. You think you're slick, but you ain't slick, Kyle. You ain't slick. I know what you's about. Alright, come on, I gotta get to work on this. Fuck. Alright, students with special needs. Someone name a special need on top of their head. Kid is blind. Perfect.
What?
impressive.
I have to do an 8 to 20 page assignment on a lesson plan, but part of my assignment is explaining how I would deal with certain students in the classroom.
Heresy. Heresy, you say?
Why are you taking off all your armor?
If it is for the sake of preserving Ashina.
You know, we're talking about the means of preserving Ashina. Maybe you should be preserving your body.
I mean, he looks better than I do.
Looks kind of dirty.
How is this a heretical power if it's just lightning bolts?
Ashina's weird. They got some problems. Oh, I did not mean to jump over that.
It looks like Mangler can't beat these allegations.
I've literally been whooping his ass this entire time. Oh, it's over. Oh, I didn't get the chance to redirect his lightning back at him. That's unfortunate. He's talking about the rejuvenation water, not the lightning techniques. That's actually not correct. I'm pretty sure the lightning of Tomoe is considered heretical.
Your mom's considered heretical.
Oh boy.
Fuck, did I spell accommodate correctly?
Oh, Bloodspoke ninjutsu.
I did not. It needs a second M. Perfect.
I have achieved ninjutsu.
And I've achieved a lack of a will of living.
Don't you mean you've lost your will to live?
No, I have achieved a higher state of understanding by losing and gaining the lack of will.
You were victorious.
You gonna fight this girl?
I see.
She gonna tell you that your master's gone?
Are you?
I mean you no harm. Shinobi of the divine Lord Kenichiro. Is this the rejuvenating waters?
He's up for round 2. Or I guess round 3, technically.
Yes.
Ashina, this land is everything to me. For her sake, I will shed humanity itself.
I hope that man's not fucking judging him.
Yes, please.
Yes.
He doesn't. He's just like, oh
no
man, that
control,
would take
please.
forever.
Wait, do you fight him again or what?
Yep. He's the final boss of the game.
He's a or the final boss?
Yes.
Mangler, don't be a fucking cunt.
I mean, I just ruined that man's dreams.
Answer the question.
I'm sure you'll find out.
What, fucking 10 weeks from now?
Probably not that long.
Bruh.
I give you my thanks.
Who exactly?
No, he actually had answered your questions, Im. I'll kill you, Cypher. The Japanese Quinch anime poses. Mangler's being difficult again, guys. All Mangler is difficult.
Lord Ishin has no desire to use the power of the dragon's heritage. That is why he...
He tried to help Lord Kuro escape Ashina.
Correct.
The message I found in the well. That was
Also correct. My duties have concluded. But there's someone I think you'd like to see. Lord Kuro...
Oh, first, I'm actually going to go talk to Ishin. Oh. Well, he's not here.
Did he really fucking leave?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunate.
Why does the little kid keep abandoning your ass?
Oh, no, not the kid. The old man.
Oh. I was gonna say, was little kid being like, sorry man, I'm in another castle, you gotta come save me. Master, is this just an elaborate attempt for me to kill all your enemies? I would do that for free!
Yeah, but would it be as nearly as much fun?
Fun fact, he is the mask. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but apparently, you know the actor for Lando in the Han Solo movie? I think his name's
Yes.
Donald Glover. During the Hollywood strike currently going on, he replaced the original head writer for the Lando show because he wanted to write it himself. It's like,
Is that a good or a bad thing? 'Cause
well, hang on.
Well,
Okay.
what about my job? Well, technically, you were on strike.
It's like, it's my job. No, the weirdest part
That
is
sounds illegal.
well no, they're on strike. Someone's gotta fill that spot, and he's like, I'll do it. But no, the funniest fucking part was that the guy whose job got taken was like, I'm so happy that people of color are getting more representation in the industry, and I'm so happy he took my job as a result of that, and I hope he does well with the position. I'm just looking at this
That
like,
is not how he truly. That is not how he truly feels. Someone has told him to say that.
and I'm like, oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
I'm only kind of pleased by that because it's the actor that plays Lando, so it kind of be fitting that the guy that already was in the role would be writing the character. Wait, hang on a minute. If he's writing it, would he still be starring in it?
Yeah, he's writing his own script. So he's basically saying that I know the character well enough to write it. Which, to be fair, he probably does.
Oh, so this could either be really, really good
Or really
or really,
bad.
really fucking weird.
Or it's
You
a
know?
little bit of the middle, where some good scenes are great and some bad scenes are even astronomically worse. No, I was just
So the
thinking.
good is great and the bad is worse. Heard.
Come for you, my lord.
I was just thinking because
What?
currently on the internet
Let us go.
there's this new trend of fetishizing non-colored people, white people, as being subservient to dark-skinned people. It's like a whole fetish and a new trend on like writing and everything. So I'm like, bro, this guy's just a living fetish. Holy shit.
The rejuvenating waters, the dragon rot, they all
Oof.
I wish to sever the chains of stagnation.
This game,
by the dragon's
by the mid game, already has more of a story than all the Dark Souls games combined.
That's not saying much. You can't have more than 0%.
Fair enough.
Hollywood is having this strike. Hollywood is not worrying about the writers because they got AI chat except for the actors. Well, I mean, they've already released statements, or statements have already been leaked that Hollywood people are just saying, like, we're just going to wait out the strike till they're starving, and then they'll have to come back to us.
Have you died and come back to life for my sake? 2, 3 times? Or perhaps a number so large that it cannot be counted?
As it was for the purpose of defending my lord, the number does not matter.
I do not wish to bind you.
Although this strike, because of contracts for some reason, does screw over certain movies.
Quest to sever the ties of immortality.
As you wish.
Thank you, loyal wolf.
Oh, look, a book.
We are wolf. Look at this. It's an ancient record that was kept in Ashina Castle.
Sacred dragon tears from the divine realm.
Yes, it is my belief that with the dragon tears, it may be possible to sever the dragon's heritage.
But the divine...
I know, Wolf. That incense burner over there, it belonged to a person of interest.
Yeah, Hollywood doesn't care about us dark skins unless we're playing as a negative role, push actors who are higher, but... Oh, well, glad I didn't go Hollywood on y'all. Why is that not on top chat? It's not anything bad there. Yeah, no, I just found it funny the guy's response to his job being taken away was the most cuck response imaginable.
Those are supposedly the words he left behind.
Like, that makes me uncomfortable looking at it. Because, fuck me, it's like, bro, have some self-worth, and that's coming from me.
Now, I am certain some books that he...
Oh, Donald Glover did play a good Lando, so I was at least expecting the series to be good because of his acting. Now I had to worry about his writing. Actually, I think he wrote for Community.
You're fucking serious. Family's throwing a fucking celebration on Sunday. They keep throwing it on the weekend that I'm at my mom's. And I don't want to do that.
What's going on? It sounds like you're not pleased
Don't
that your
worry about
family's having a party on a Sunday.
I am not pleased with the timing.
Well, I'm
They
sorry
always
that they decided to plan. Go on. Go on. Go on, bad son.
No.
Who's bad son?
Mangler apparently hears complaining that his family is having a party this Sunday.
Completely understandable.
Should have had it last Sunday or the following Sunday.
So what's the party even for then? Is it like his birthday or something?
Somebody's birthday. Which I don't mind going to celebrate, but it's not something I want to do.
Kyle, you sympathize with Mangler, don't you?
What's that?
Kyle's over here just sympathizing with Mangler, being like Mangler has never spoken more truer words in his life.
Don't boo him, he's correct.
Imagine we get the gaming industry strike with something similar, but literally every big game developers and games coming out were put on hold. Good. Those games probably weren't even finished yet.
Are you kidding me? The developers are probably just like, oh my fucking god, we get more time to actually finish this.
The developers are
Keep
like, oh,
striking.
thank God the
Keep
writers are on strike.
Keep striking so we don't have to crunch.
Fucking developers taking a break for the first time in their entire career. Oh, so this is what this feels like. This feels kind of nice.
Ugh. Okay, so that's what I have to do.
What do you mean I don't have to stay in the office until 4 o'clock in the morning and never see my family?
Yo! Keep striking, fellas! Have you ever seen the Tosh.0 fucking abortion commercial or no?
No.
Okay, so you're not gonna get this. But imagine they just walk outside to the strikers, like, who are cussing them out, and they just high-five a striker who's got his hands up in protest. Yeah, for context, Daniel Tosh made a Joe commercial for Beats way back when Tosh.0 was still kind of popular. And the commercial was him and his girlfriend going to an abortion clinic, and there's a bunch of protesters outside, but he puts on his Beats headphones. So he can't hear them, like, cussing him out and stuff, but his girlfriend can. So you see her reactions of all uncomfortable, and he's, like, smiling the entire time because he can't hear anything, and he's high-fiving the protesters.
Yes, there is something I wish to ask.
Oh, that was funny.
Don't drink sake.
What?
They should do that on Rockstar. Does Rockstar even do Game Crunch, bro? They haven't released a new game in 10 years. I'm kidding. They released Red Dead Redemption 2 5 years ago.
I merely followed the code my father
Does Red Dead really do? Does Rockstar really do crunch? Can they even do crunch when they release a game once a decade?
So you're the son of Owl, that boy he found during the rebellion. Yes.
If Rockstar Games does crunch, I have to believe in my heart of hearts
So what do you wish to know?
that they do not actually work half the time. There is no way in 10-year gaps they do not have enough time to create a fucking game.
I mean,
I'm
they're
sure those
already
are
a little bit
slacking.
through. I mean, they're already in the process of making GTA 6.
That's the stuff. By the way, how was Ganesha?
That is true.
What do you mean? You two crossed blades, did you not? To put it simply, he was strong, and he had. I see. What exactly is the lightning of Tomoe? That it's a technique belonging to.
I mean, he only used it one time, and he missed.
It was quite the sight.
So, it actually wasn't that quite of a sight.
There aren't many masters of the
Bruh.
sword like her. To see her fight, it's like she's dancing. When you look into her eyes, you feel as if you're being drawn into the depths of the ocean. I've lived a long life.
Is she dead or alive
To
then?
be fair.
Closest I've come to
Tomoe? No, Tomoe's dead.
the divine
You can find her
desire
gravesite.
is to sever the
Tosh
been dead
Point
for
was
years.
funny. It was.
to know how it can be done. The mortal blade. If you
Such
have
a weird era of content where the internet was the main source of content, but it wasn't done by internet people, it was done by TV shows.
You could kill one who cannot die through normal means. One who cannot die. The infested. I have not seen one before, but it said you could stab them through the heart, or remove their head, and they wouldn't die. If this to kill a monster such as that, you'd need the mortal blade. Where is this mortal blade? I've heard it's held in Sempo Temple. However, they say the mortal blade cannot be drawn. What do you mean? I am not certain of the meaning.
It's okay. I've got a fast travel point
The
over
gates
there.
to that temple are closed now. Who knows what those degenerates are doing shut away up there? There aren't any decent. You're severing immortality, and in battle, the plans and desires of those involved churn endlessly. If you hesitate,
Oh yeah, Loki's dropping soon.
lose the battle. That's right. Best to keep it in mind. Sekiro,
What do you guys think of the interpretations of Cerberus and DMC? It's fine. Can DMC3 Cerberus be Final Fantasy 15 Cerberus? No. Probably, yeah. Because technically DMC3 Cerberus still scales to measurable speed. Also has those ridiculous ass fucking immortalities and healing factors.
Wait, hang on a minute. Does anyone know the... Oh no, why am I asking this? Fuck. I'm gonna have to do the purification ending.
Game?
Yeah, but there's like steps to the endings that are like really dumb, and I don't remember them.
Well, look up a WikiHow then!
Wait, why did he leave a note for me if he's standing right over there? Is this kid blind and dumb?
This is his polite way of telling you to not talk to him.
But he literally says, "Meet me in the library."
So you.
This is his polite way of telling you not to go talk to him.
he thanked me for
I see. To think.
No, I'm gonna tell Mangler to do what Kyle does every time he gets stuck on a puzzle. Just look it up, because Lord knows he's not gonna figure it out on his own. You need to kill the Owl Father and the Tears of the Divine Heir for the true ending.
Yes, but I'm not doing the true ending. I'm just gonna do purification, and then I'll do the Oscar one, and I'll be done.
Why aren't you doing true ending, Mangler?
But I heard one of the senior apprentices was able to
Because
salvage some of it. Probably, don't you? Did you ask Lord
Mangler's connection trying not to be a fucking speech and spell. Challenge impossible.
We've decided to sever the ties of
I'm trying to do something shorter.
I thank you for all of the help you've given me.
But it's not the true ending.
Almost sounds like you're bidding me farewell.
Who cares?
Imagine playing the game and not getting true ending. Couldn't be me.
In the castle. Come and speak to me whenever you please. I will provide my assistance.
No gourd seeds? Fuck you.
Zim, are you the only one out of Mangler, Kyle, and Neo, etc. with an Android? Yeah, because I'm not a fucking sheep. And also, I'm not a fucking moron who spends $3 billion or $3,000 for the newest iPhone.
That's hipster wank. That's hipster wanker talk for I'm a contrarian and I'm a
I was under the
hipster.
impression that Kyle had an
What is the
Android.
majority? You're the hipster in this case!
Dude, Androids suck. They're so unuser friendly.
You are fucking retarded, but you are also the dumbest person with technology I've ever met, so that's kind of not exactly...
I've had an Android. They suck.
Kyle! You couldn't even use Windows on your PC until I explained it to you!
I still need you to show me how to connect my spoiler to my capture card.
Kyle! You literally failed to plug in the out fucking slot in the correct fucking HDMI port! After I told you how to plug it in!
I was looking for it. There is water.
Will you be free later today?
No!
Yes, indeed.
It'll be quick.
I might have a card game tournament later today, so it might be till late at night, but that won't matter for you, so it'll just be around the normal time we talk at night.
When the undead said that,
Do you think this will...
that seems wolf.
Look, I need to explain to you guys how fucking retarded Kyle is with technology for a minute, because I need you guys to understand that when he says Android is not user-friendly, he literally lacks basic computer skills. The fact that he knew something in editing that I didn't honestly astounded me.
Did it help you with your final product?
It did, but I also got lazy
Then
at the
shut
very...
the fuck up.
Fuck you! So I decided at the very end I'm not going to include all the scans for their attacks because you can just play the game to get the direct scans, and honestly, if with all the evidence I have, if you think I'm lying about shit being super... It ruins the way it looks at the end. It ruins the visual. And also, if you don't believe me by that point, you can go suck a dick. Play the fucking game. I'm right. You can literally go on the wiki and fucking find all the attacks. I'm right. It ruins the aesthetic. I only put scans for shit that seems super fucking specific. That, like, I know would need information. Like, I put scans for siphoning armor for the attack. And I also put scans for the oddly specific power of one of the girls being able to shoot you and locking you in a direction. I don't know what the fuck to call that power, though. She doesn't even have...
She shoots you and she locks you into going in a certain direction.
Okay, let's say I'm facing forward and I get hit by her or grazed by her. I can now only look and move forward, I think, for like the next initiative fucking units. So she can just keep walking you in a direction.
So let's say you hit me. So let's say you hit me. Am I hard locked into only looking and walking like straight ahead?
Yeah, and I could just walk up behind you and stab you and kill you, and you would be able to do nothing.
Okay, that's you could probably argue that to be vector manipulation.
I didn't call it anything, I just said what the ability they had, but that probably sounds right. What garbage are you talking about, Kyle? Most people use Android over Apple and Windows over Mac. So cause he doesn't have a Mac. Maybe if he fucking did, he wouldn't need so much fucking help finding shit. When I tell Kyle to look at the bottom corner of his screen for shit, for the icons, he's not sure what the bottom corner of the screen is.
What's a lie?
I have to physically...
Tell me why.
It's not a lie! You are terrible! I have trauma from fucking having to help you with tech support. You are the reason I'm never gonna become a tech support person on call because they will just be like you, but worse. Kyle is just trolling you and just wants you to talk like a good girl. I don't know what fetishes Kyle has, but I genuinely believe he's just incompetent with technology.
We don't have enough salt? Yes, sir. We also use it on wounds and for filter with the rate.
It's the attempt that counts.
Yes, sir.
That reminds me about fucking trying to use the web browser. I had to explain to you how to use that too. Oh no, the memories are just flooding back.
What do you mean explain me how to use the web browser? I know how to surf the net.
You didn't even know what Control F was.
Oh, why am I supposed to know that sort of stuff?
Because it literally makes life easier.
Well, how am I ever supposed to know if no one ever taught me?
It was taught in basic computer classes.
Never interests me. I forgot, what does Control F do? Is that closing the window?
Kyle, how do you close it?
Oh no, it's searching for a specific word.
Good, good. The student has learned effectively. I am doing my job as a teacher.
Well, actually, that's a very good way of looking at it. I'm giving you practice.
I hate you. And I'm gonna tell it to my student too when he fucking doesn't know what 2 + 2 is after the first explanation. I'm gonna try and shoot for high school. Zim's the type of person to help someone with technology while being on a phone. While getting aggravated, you just hang up. I will not hang up, but I will bitch and moan every step of the way. Let me tell you this right now. If you ask me for help, I will help you. But I will make you incredibly fucking uncomfortable and feel bad the entire step of the way. I think there was only 3 actual minutes of instruction in the hour I was helping Kyle, and the rest was fucking yelling at him for fucking up. To be fair, he was fucking up with some pretty basic shit. God, I don't even want to I don't even understand
exactly what you said.
What?
I did exactly what you said. I even showed you the ports and everything.
You didn't plug it in correctly, you fucking degenerate. Also, you didn't listen to my instructions exactly. You kept freeballing it half the time. If you listened to them exactly, we would have solved the issue a lot sooner.
I did not free ball them.
You freeballed. You're like, okay, he's saying this, so I'll do this along with it. And I'm like, I didn't tell you to do anything else, Kyle. I told you to do one specific fucking thing.
They find a way in through every.
If I
Someone
did
gotta
that
spin
one
Neo the
specific
Nirvana
thing,
shit. Yeah, someone has to. And by someone, I mean just be honest and say we don't really know what the fuck Nirvana is in DMC. It's just not really explained.
Not quite cut them down.
I'll go give him a
Have you
paragraph.
mastered any secret
A little bit.
techniques? Not quite yet, it seems. Cut them down.
I gotta go fucking print out more cards. Dang it.
did you end up ordering the guidebook yet?
No, I can order it. I can order it today during my card game duel. I'm just gonna order it off Amazon. Sorry, it's because I'm working on my assignment right now, which has to be at least 8 to 20 pages. I'm currently on page 2, and I'm still in the first portion, so that's looking pretty spicy. I'm just gonna make it long and hope he gives. Okay, it's out 40 points. I already asked him if I bomb the assignment, will he fail me in the class because it's signature, and he's like, that's highly unlikely you'll bomb it. He has no idea how badly I'm gonna bomb this, but that means I can miss 12 points. So as long as it sounds good, I should be in the clear.
Hmm.
Uh... So people are now talking shit about God of War Ragnarok. Lovely. Oh, are people finally done with the honeymoon phase? That really pains him.
Oh, well, what are they saying?
Are they finally acknowledging that it's God of War 4 but with the DLC package? Are they finally acknowledging that the combat system's not all that good? Are they finally
Are
acknowledging
they
that the
acknowledging the
story's not...
story is not? Are they acknowledging that the story is not that deep, and that the Greek saga had a way deeper story?
You guys are really getting your hopes up there.
It's really kind of funny and fucked now, but now that we have both, like, sagas done, there is no fucking doubt in my mind that the Greek saga was not only better written, but more
A chef's
satisfying of
kiss.
an ending.
A chef's kiss, you mean?
I mean, I don't really like the Greeks. I don't
At
really like
least if
God of
you
War in
play them
general.
in chronological order, it is.
Nah, just play the fucking main games and you still get better.
No, I mean it's made better with the spin-offs too.
Are people not going to acknowledge that Odin
Whereas
was like
if you
really
just-
a clever subversion and that Thor's but like was just a boring as fuck character? And
Hold up.
Mangler's dead because his opponents
People are being
realize they
stupid.
have guns.
All Four's characters, drunk dad not doing good. We've had that character before in other series, but you know what? It's usually done way better.
It's all DLC and Thor in Prime Condition one-shot Kratos, and Kratos only ties when he is poisoned.
Isn't it sad that we can unironically argue that probably Hank Hill could probably beat God of War?
No, he can't, Kyle. Unless Kratos talks shit about propane.
What is this in my way? Kicks it. Hey there, white boy. I'm about to kick your ass. I'm the God of War. I don't care what you're the
Do
God
you
of.
remember?
What the hell's that?
Gunfort was even more formidable than we'd heard. Reckless to go in unprepared. It takes me back. I can hear the scent.
Oh, did this man just now realize the power of gun? Unfortunate.
Somebody, kids, was like, Dad, did you remember? The fact that they canonically make it all the Giants' fault is funny. Rock and Al still just fucking riding that high that the Giants were responsible for everything. God of... Ooh, Edinamon made the video? Really? I think he's used to hot takes though. I don't think this is too like crazy. He's popular. Oh, that's where I know him from. Yeah, he did a woke video about why woke characters are bad in shenanigans.
You're dead.
When did he make that video though? Where's the videos in? Oh, he posted a general chat. Yeah, he has, he's got very clickbaity thumbnails. I don't watch his content though, because it seems kind of boring. It's one of his channel is one of those very anti-woke channels. Which I mean, it's not. I don't necessarily disagree with some of the takes in those channels. It's just that like I don't want to watch a channel where all their complaints nonstop are the same fucking thing. So now I can't tell if his God of War Ragnarok video is actually a legitimate like criticism video or if it's like they added Abigodua or whatever her name is.
Change the fictional character's race. I am so goddamn triggered. How will I get on with my life? Or something like that. It's just that for 20 minutes.
No, it'll be interesting if people are actually starting to get over the honeymoon phase of the game.
Now, so some substantial criticism of the game would be nice. I'm assuming he has substantial criticism. I don't know. Oh shit, they're firing at me. Oh no. Not the snake lady.
Okay, I have to clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, that's bullshit.
Can we all agree that the Norse Saga was mainly created for gaming journalists? I disagree. I think the gaming saga was made by people who genuinely think that there was a great story to be had with God of War, and they thought that the story they already had wasn't good enough. So they completely ruined everything they had and made a subpar story.
I think they thought that a story there was so worth telling that they should take everything that they know about the series at that point and basically subvert all of it for the purposes of supporting the gameplay or supporting the story-driven narrative. And it was probably mostly brought on
by the idea that Sony at the time had been marketing exclusives that way, being single player, over the shoulder, third person over the shoulder, like story driven games, which God of War fit into perfectly. One of those writers probably played The Last of Us and was like, "This is the greatest video game ever created. There's literally nothing that could be better made than this. Therefore, God of War has to be this way." Oh my god.
Gameplay, Mangler? What gameplay? God of War has gameplay, guys. Come on. Even The Last of Us has gameplay. BRB, right, Triple? Right, Kyle? Last of Us has gameplay. You played The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's trash gameplay.
But it has gameplay.
I mean, every game has gameplay. When I say that something doesn't have gameplay, I usually mean it doesn't have good gameplay.
The Greek Saga, yeah, but Norse, not much. The Norse Pantheon does have gameplay. Come on.
Bro, the Norse Pantheon doesn't even have good gameplay for the genre it's pretending to be in, which is the Souls genre. When Dark Souls has like a more diverse combat system than you do, you know you fucked up. Especially when you subverted your entire combat system to make it a better version of that. That's not good.
Look. Ragnarok the God of War Norse trilogy just wasn't what it should have been. It just wasn't good. I still plan to make those versus matchups. Do I really have to research God of War, or should I just say that they're comparable and move on?
What?
Well, I gotta do Zeus versus Odin. Or, I guess I want to do Zeus versus Odin.
I mean, you wouldn't be doing that much research to begin with.
All you'd have to do is just basically go through what we've already got anyway in the game server.
Do you guys have all of Zeus's statements and shit, or do you guys just have, like, fucking, like, first... Because, is that cosmology or is that character specific?
We got everything for everyone. That's even remotely important.
We can go get it. It wouldn't take that long.
Well, good thing Odin has, like, next to no real statements, but I need to go through and get all of Zeus's statements, and Zeus is like... Meh.
Well, you also have to
Odin would be harder to get through, because he's in a game that's locked to a specific platform. Whereas, like, Zeus usually isn't on screen for that long, and a lot of his best feats come from the novels.
And a lot of his other shit is literally just scaling from Kratos anyway.
Yeah, most of which is also included in his boss fight.
So,
whereas Odin's like, man, you gotta find out what all spells and things were possible in the Norse Pantheon.
Oh, no, that's right. Nah. We see what Odin uses in this fight. He ain't special, he ain't slick. How do I know him being the master of all magic isn't just a lie he told people?
I mean, if you want to go with that'd be fair. I don't think that would be something people can blame for you. It's not like he demonstrates that he has most forms of magic. Though he does demonstrate he has a shitload of magic. Oh my god. You're done. Now the fun begins. God.
Are you fucking serious? He wouldn't grab the edge. Do I have to rappel up there?
When Pac-Man has more diverse in gameplay, Zeus with clones probably wins. Okay, so I'll say this here specifically. Because I'll still talk about it in a short video, but yeah, I'm under the impression that Zeus, because of his cloning power, would be able to just beat Odin, because the problem is that you could argue that Zeus would be comparable to God of War Ragnarok Kratos anyways, or at least be comparable to Thor, and there's technically no evidence that Thor's weaker than Odin, unless you want to argue him being stabbed means he's weaker.
I think we have to take that argument because that was when Thor was like had already finished getting his ass beaten.
Yeah, so I'll check my guidebook and I'll look for other statements, but if there's no statement for Odin being the strongest Norse god, then I have no reason to believe that even if Thor's stronger than Zeus, that would, like, fully scale to Odin.
Well, this is also the thing you have to keep. This is the other thing you have to consider. Because if Thor was poisoned during that entire thing, and the entire story is basically implying that by the end of the fight, Kratos gets back to his peak in God of War 3, this means that Kratos didn't even, like, match a fully powered Thor that would be able to fight him equally.
Well, so this is where the problem comes in, is that, like, a super weakened Kratos is still more comparable to is still comparable to Thor, regardless, because his axe is able to block Mjolnir, and he is able to clash with him. All we know specifically is that Thor couldn't kill him, but we see that Thor can kill him.
Did.
You're right. You're right. That's the best part. That was like the best scene in Ragnarok, where just out of nowhere is all like, fucking
sends them to the loading screen.
Oh, you mean that thing that literally made every God of War scaler like shut the fuck up about him not being able to tank, like him being able to take any kind of blow?
Dude, the immortality claims went out the window when that happened, and I was like, whoa, that just happened?
Hey, but real talk for a minute, though. Real talk for a minute. Outside of power scaling, for like a gameplay cinematic moment, that was pretty fucking cool.
It was very cool because I don't think I've seen a moment where a boss kills you and is like, no, you're not allowed to die unless I say so.
It's like, we're not done.
It's just kind of funny.
Oh, I do find it kind of interesting that restarting his heart is what brought him back to life. So this might be a case of, it wasn't the blunt trauma, the lightning stopped his heart.
That's worse, though. Because that means electricity manipulation can kill him.
I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense for how he was able to get back up. Because if it was the blunt trauma caved his head in, then why would his heart restarting bring him back immediately?
Maybe it was a skill issue.
To be fair, what Kratos' statement about Thor is that his blows are as heavy as any he's ever felt before. So, as long as that, I mean, like, you can make a solid argument that wouldn't include Fear Zeus. Because we don't know how Fear Zeus would even feel like. I don't even think Fear Zeus hits Kratos, does he?
No, he doesn't. Well, so he hits Kratos with the power of hope, but he just stops the blow after that. He catches his fist and then basically slashes him like 5 or 6 times. But the first fight where he fights base Kratos, he just chokes him out. Well, granted, he hits him one time and destroys all of his weapons, and then grabs him and chokes him to death.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Basically.
Like, I don't think Fear Zeus ever fucking actually hits Kratos, so I can just argue as long as that doesn't include Fear Zeus, then, like, then there's nothing there then.
Oh, nice. Let's see, is that door open?
It is possible to physically hit someone to stop their heart zim. I'm just saying that I think it's more likely that his heart stopped.
Wait. Are you telling me the Terminator from Terminator 4, if he punches Kratos in the heart, could just kill him?
Then it's entirely possible.
Oh, look. Items. Alright, let's go. Let's go get some XP. That boss fight, or that mini boss fight or whatever, gets cheesed so easily with freaking Gokon Sugar. Oh, what's this? Oh yeah, I
Kratos
forgot to
technically
confront memory.
no. So Kratos technically does struggle against Fear Zeus in the Grasp, and he does get blasted by it. So I guess you could technically argue that it would include Fear Zeus, but Kratos can't struggle against it at all.
Cypher, this is what I'm talking about. So it says in the Remnant for Genichiro that he's born a peasant. Genichiro Ashina was taken in by the land of Ashina, by the Ashina after his mother's death. With his country on the brink of defeat, he took to heretical arts and mastered the lightning of Tomoe. Such heresy may be the key to saving her. So yeah, the heretical arts is referring to the lightning of Tomoe. It's not referring to rejuvenation. Though the rejuvenating waters is probably also considered heresy. But the main thing it's referring to is the lightning of Tomoe. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So I still haven't had breakfast yet to brush my teeth, so I should probably do that in a bit as soon as I finish this last section. And then I have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more sections. Has to be 8 to 10 pages. It's due on Monday at 12 o'clock at night, but he wants it in by the afternoon, so he can go fuck himself. Will the stream be continuing for like another hour? I don't know. We usually get off like around 3, so we usually stick around for like an hour and a half more. But that's gonna depend on Mangler. Because I gotta talk to my mom too and see when she wants to go pick up my car. Because if we can just go at any time, I can just totally go like at 3, and now we can Mangler like an hour and a half. Oh yeah. Sparta posted the top 10 played most cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sub like part. Apparently Max C is played more often than Ash Blossom, which actually surprises me.
By about 2%. Yeah.
By 5% actually. That
Really?
just makes no that makes no sense to me, because if Maxi's seen so much play, you'd think everyone would run Ash Blossom. Although there's technically more counters to Maxi than just Ash Blossom, technically. Yeah, it's kind of sad that Kratos doesn't scale Thor or Odin when they take him seriously. No, he does scale to Thor. It's just that there's a good case to be made that like Thor's full power can kill him. Or at least a fraction. God, I fucking hate Kratos in Norse Pantheon.
I just love that Ash Blossom is played that often, and yet there's no calls to put it on the ban list.
Mangler
but everybody will be like, Max C should be put on the ban list.
Mangler, Ash
because
Blossom
it's played so often.
Ash Blossom keeps Dex in check, Mangler.
Yeah, what keeps Ash Blossom in check? Why can't we have that discussion?
Call by the Grave keeps it in check.
Oh, yeah, the card that, according to this list, is played half as often.
Shut up. No
so statistically speaking, it's not even working.
Shut up, it's working.
Also, Call by the Grave is on the ban list.
It's...
What is this sussy imposter nonsense?
Okay, so I guess I'll say it like... Well, I mean... I guess I'll say it like this. If...
Your voice is gonna say it like this.
If Odin scales to Fear Zeus in base, that might cause an issue. But Fear Zeus's hacks abilities would nullify Odin's entire arsenal anyways. Because Fear Zeus can also remove Kratos' magic powers as well.
Yes, so he destroys all of his weapons, which it is established in the game that he just keeps them behind his body, and like this hammer space thing, like, oh, it's just magic. Like, the gods don't even understand how it actually works. They just say, like, yeah, no, it goes back there, and it's magic, and Fear Zeus hits him, and it can disperse it from that location. So yeah, he can just nullify, like, magic stuff. Which is technically gives Fear Zeus an actually good ability. People spend so much time talking about his conceptual manipulation or whatever the fuck, and I'm like, why are we not talking about the fact that he can just destroy our weapons or displace any magically related abilities? Like, that's infinitely better than whatever you're interpreting his conceptual manipulation to be. Anyway, continue. Sorry. It's a little bit of ranting.
So yeah, I'm gonna say it like this. Best case scenario for Zeus, he just beats Odin with clones. Worst case scenario for Zeus, Fear Zeus can just fucking out-hacks Odin's strength. Because keep in mind that this is technically Zeus doing this
Zeus could
after
just
the
throw
Blade of
lightning
Olympus would have
bolts at him.
What?
Zeus could just throw lightning bolts at him. I think it's even stated that the lightning bolts that Kratos gets in the novel, they like rejuvenate his strength. They make him feel like a rush of like energy and power.
Don't the lightning bolts nullify power at the start of God of War in God of War 2 or something?
They can. Zeus can directly. Well, so I don't know if I'd say it's a power null, but it is absorption. Because he's able to take the power from Kratos and then put it into the statue. So yeah, like, you would just say in general, like, Zeus's powers, though they're kind of like just basic versions of a lot of these, he has so many different types of powers that he can use in sync with one another that, yeah, he would probably beat Odin. Unless Odin demonstrates resistances to those abilities. Because keep in mind, Odin's not fighting Zeus in the Norse games. He's fighting Kratos, the guy that has, like, next to nothing. So he never had to demonstrate those abilities because he was fighting a guy whose main approach to combat is swing an axe and throw a spear that explodes through remote detonation. That's it. That's all he was bringing to the table. He's basically just fighting a bunch of glorified superhuman people with basic weaponry. That's it. Whereas Zeus is just like, I've got clones.
Zeus showed up and... Wait. Actually, I'm going to check what he does in God of War 2 then, because if Zeus can by himself absorb or steal power with just lightning, then yeah, Odin would just Odin...
Zeus... Also, he does it, so the way he does it is that he flies by him as an eagle and sort of zaps him. But he zaps him at range while he's flying, so it is a projectile that he can do at range. He does not need to physically touch you.
Oh my god, that's right, he can shapeshift freely, unlike Odin, who seems to only shapeshift into people.
Yeah, he can turn into an old man, he could turn into animals, he could turn into a lot of things.
No!
He actually has teleportation as well.
No!
Also,
you guys don't know the best one!
May or may not have stated, Prometheus may or may not have also stated that he basically turned him from a Titan into a mortal, so through some unknown means, Zeus also has the ability to remove immortality.
No, you guys are forgetting the best part. Zeus literally can turn into a beam of light. He does it to fuck a girl on the tower in one of the Greek stories.
Okay, we're talking about ones that happen in the actual games.
To be fair, they do use the Greek mythology, Mangler. It should be fair game, Mangler. Would Zeus get the Blade of Olympus? Yeah. There's no reason he shouldn't.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Blade of Olympus.
So yeah, with the Blade of Olympus, you can literally just argue that Zeus would just be able to drain Odin's power even further. Honestly, this just sounds like more. The more I think about it, the more it's just more of a stomp for Zeus.
I mean, anyone who didn't think it was a stomp wasn't doing the research correctly. Assuming they sat down and decided to the outputs.
The only argument you can make is again just Thor's scale is higher and stronger. But by how much? And I think Zeus actually demonstrates better killing factor and resurrection than fucking Kratos has.
If the earlier God of War games are any consolation, it's that one of them, unlike the Norse games, was clearly made for a more mature audience to have brutality, which means you have a higher capacity for better physical feats than what you would have. Like, this is just what happens when you give, like, an M rating to a hack-and-slash combat system. You're likely to have better fighters, more versatile fighting styles, better demonstrated abilities, usually better everything, because those systems in the gameplay have to be able to present the characters as competent fighters.
Why is your screen paused?
Otherwise, you don't have high octane action.
Ah, I see. So this is the one that.
Well, actually, hang on, Kyle. So what did you say? What Mangler was like giving his bibliography?
Oh no, I just found out that Final Fantasy IV is the one that starts that really weird race to the meter type battle system.
Son of a bitch! So that's the game that ruined it. Well, actually, this becomes a question of: does the Blade of Olympus grant you the powers of what's absorbed within it, or not?
No, but you can shoot it back as an energy blast, at least.
Doesn't Kratos like drain his godly powers into the blade? Like, doesn't the blade like gain Kratos' powers?
Yeah, but he never gets the ability. Okay, so he can get it back by taking the power back, but we've never seen him use the power of like Kronos or anything like that. It was only ever established he could get back his own power.
So then I can't argue that we'll just give an amp to like Zeus if he starts absorbing Odin's power throughout the fight. Like it wouldn't just like make him stronger by holding it.
Hang on one sec. Got to deal with a giant fucking serpent.
You better have your
trying to murder me.
I thought this thing insta kills you.
It might, but we're gonna make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, away we go.
I don't know if Odin would survive the blade alone, especially with the if he makes clones.
You imagine the clones with the blade?
Well, I don't think it's how the clones.
You thought it was annoying to deal with the lightning pinning you to the spot, but how about dealing with the lightning pinning you to the spot while 5 of my clones are stabbing you with a blade that absorbs your energy? I don't know. It seems like Odin's like
I have
kind of
elemental
fucked in that
barriers. You
matchup.
can't beat me without the elements. Zeus, lightning.
Is it 9 or
What if
10
I
that
just have
goes
the
back to
sword?
the original turn-based style?
I think it might be 10. 9 still has the bar meter build up.
I was gonna say, speaking of turn-based, Odin, between the two of them, like, I mean, just in general, Zeus is like a brawler that can fight like a sword fighter. Odin is like literally like a turn-based RPG character that waits for people. He's not good at CQC.
Actually, I have a better question then. Does Gungnir have any statements or not?
No.
Unless you have something in the art book.
You're asking me to pop open the God of War art book again to find Gungnir statements?
Well, here's the thing. If you're also doing Zeus, you have to give him the Gauntlet of Zeus as well, because it's his fucking gauntlet.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the thing. The thing that can, like... So, it's a weapon in Chains of Olympus that was basically used to seal the Titans into the walls and, like, transmute their bodies. And so... Yeah. Yeah, well, you only ever use it to beat things to death, but Zeus would know how to use his full capabilities because it's his weapon, and he's the one that sealed them into the wall.
Odin's
so
like,
while Kratos
I don't
want
to die, I want to live forever. Zeus, alright, bet, live forever as my mural.
Is Kratos still able to breathe underwater? No. He lost the Trident of Poseidon, unfortunately. But Zeus also has other abilities with the Blade of Olympus, such as the ability to BFR people. Because unlike Kratos, he actually demonstrates he can send the Titans to the bottom of Tartarus with an energy blast from the other side of the battlefield that covers the entire battlefield. So, he has a long-range BFR that hits everybody on the battlefield from, like, the opposite side of the battlefield. So, yeah, I think he can probably hit Odin with that as well.
Now I just gotta figure out if their speed is comparable. Odin is measurable, after all. Mangler, are you okay? Oh, he's muted himself in a blind rage. hell is this? Having made Zeus demand that Hephaestus craft the weapon that would bind the Titans to the very walls of Tartarus that was created the gauntlet of Zeus. The gigantic gauntlet was forged to Hephaestus and was used by Zeus to chain the mighty Titans to the depths of Tartarus. Okay, so what other items does Zeus actually have?
He has Gungnir. And that's it.
Alright, Mangler's getting food currently. Well, no, Odin has only one weapon. Although I guess I could. Can I give Odin Mjolnir or not?
No, it's not his weapon.
Doesn't he pick it up at some point?
What, to smack his granddaughter for like 2 seconds?
That seems like a reasonable amount of time to give him a weapon.
What are you, fucking G1? Jesus.
Listen, man, Odin needs all the help he can get right now. Doesn't Zeus have like an Aegis somewhere or something?
Alright. Getting some food. Are you asking if Zeus has more weapons? You got the Gauntlet of Zeus, the Blade of Olympus, all his lightning shenanigans, and then God knows whatever else you can get him. I mean,
Doesn't he have a
if
shield?
you really want
Don't
to
you
wank
get
him,
the
I guess you
Aegis?
can use him.
Don't you get a shield?
I guess
for
you can
Zeus?
use his weapons from. Sorry?
Don't you get? Doesn't Zeus have a shield in the games, like an Aegis?
No. But there are weapons from the multiplayer that he does give to his servants. So technically, if you want to include that in an arsenal, then he could bring that into battle if you want to.
Is there anything good in them?
I have to go recheck the descriptions. Probably just stuff involving like lightning and a bunch of other things.
All right. So
Oh wait,
I give Zeus.
there might be the essence of Hyperion.
I'll give Zeus his gauntlet and the Blade of Olympus, and I will give Odin Mjolnir and Gungnir. Perfect.
Why is he getting Mjolnir? What the hell?
Because he did use
He never
it in
got Mjolnir.
battle. No.
When?
Entonces, ¿cuándo quiere decir? ¿Tres?
What kind of sussy behavior is this?
Alright, Mangler, sí. Mangler, ¿puedes ir ahorita entonces?
I'm getting food again.
Okay, yeah, Mangler, she guys gonna be alone for a bit because my mom wants me to go get my car and she has to drive me there. So, you two, keep the guys company. Mjolnir is fair game. Odin picked it up for 3 seconds. G1 blog would agree with me, and I'll be back.
Or yeah, I needed food. But now we are
Bro, this boy
back.
is already fire. Final Fantasy 4 is way better than 3 already.
Guys, if you have any questions, now is the time. I have taken over Zim's stream. This is prime time for the Zim slander. You know, I'm actually trying to think of any other weapons that Zeus has. Because I'm pretty sure there are some artifacts in the game that belong to him.
I think the better question is there anything that Odin has besides from Gungi?
Spells. Probably like materials and stuff for spells.
Anything like truly revolutionary and important?
Not that I can think of. Like, it's Odin is a character that works more in a narrative battle if you give him prep time, and he manipulates other people into fighting for him. I was gonna say maybe he can use Nihog, but then I remember Nihog only came about because he put a booby trap in Vanaheim. So that's the kind of narrative thing I'm talking about, where if you give him agency and let him act within a story, like a scripted scenario, basically does things. Where the heck am I? Is that a monkey with a fucking gun? Well. I'd be surprised. Hey, Jordan, what in the hell are you doing down here? Added Zeus magic to the general? To the general. The thunderbolts of Zeus.
Overturned.
The light. Oh yeah, I forgot about the default lightning ability in what's it called? Fucking what's his face? Ascension. I was referring to the multiplayer weapons, which would have been made for the warriors of
Oh,
Zeus.
actually, wouldn't you be able to give him the Gate of Hyperion? Because the warriors of Zeus can use it?
Yeah, yes. And it is basically a short range teleport move. That's like really, it's like a burst. It's like an aerial burst. So, yeah, I don't think Odin would really have a defense against something like that. It's incredibly fast. It's like, imagine you're fighting Zeus and he just air dashes you. Like, immediately. But I'm trying to remember, does Odin have the ability to fly for long periods of time?
Does he fly at all?
I think he floats a little. Pretty sure. Well, he mostly uses his raven.
Maybe levitation, but nothing's shown on the skill of like Zeus.
He's managed to make booze in this game. But that is impressive. Though I guess they also know how to use swords and guns, so I shouldn't really be surprised that, beverage making is possible if they can understand weapons and material gatherment. Wait. Let me go back over there.
One is fresh, the other over the dried fruit is all past that.
What are you talking?
Rice.
This woman is off her rocker. No one in the Norse really flies other than Thor and Freya, and technically her Valkyries. This is true. That gorilla coming up was so difficult. Oh, I'm not gonna fight the ape right now. I'm not in the mood for Donkey Kong. He's He can be a fun boss fight, but man, when the second phase comes around, that boss fight's not fun.
Catch another one. Where you find the depart, even in go ahead. Hey, inside, and if the serpent god. Wherever.
That looks dangerous. Whoa, seriously? That really just happened? I got knocked off the ledge. I just made a little bit further to the left. I would have been fine. No, not my XP. I'm trash. Kyle, you have a question?
No, not really.
You can deflect the serpent's attacks. Sorry, this fucking thing is goddamn annoying. As far as I know. I don't know if you can deflect that one. Because that one's unblockable. You can only deflect an unblockable if it's like... if it is a thrust attack. Like a spear. But I don't know if the serpent's head counts as a spear attack. Kill like 2 more people and we should be good. How good of martial artists are the Spartan Brothers in DMC? And also just taking into account other verses, they get ASAC guide too. Well, give an example. The weakest version of Dante we have in the timeline is capable of fighting an enemy that's specifically created on the informational level solely for the purposes of killing him, anyone like him, and anyone in his entire bloodline, and countering any and all techniques that come from that bloodline with the intent of emulating, adapting, and evolving to that bloodline, and anything the bloodline attempts to counter that. And he is able to beat someone like that when he's also being prep timed against by that person who is amplifying themselves, killing everyone around him in his life, and psychologically torturing him, studying him, and then also training against him. And that's like the first feat he does at the earliest point of the timeline. I'd say, yeah, like skilled wise, he's pretty skilled as far as like feats are concerned. As far as his general martial arts, he knows like 4 or 5 different styles of like unarmed martial arts. He knows several different styles of sword fighting. He's fought multiple different demon swordsman masters between like Finley Gilbert, the Apprentices of Sparta, And then, like, obviously he's fought Chan, who had the skills of Sparta himself. And then he's also fought Virgil multiple times. Yeah, he also fought Bulwark, who was literally like a god. So a guy that would have had a completely different style of fighting from anything he had seen at that point, especially with like a spear, still trounced him pretty easily. They also have information manipulation without POC, right? Yeah. Gilver is literally the product of information and data. He was made specifically, he was created from data on the Spartas. Mundus made him just to kill. It specifically points out that he was made from the data that was gathered from Sparta and the Sparta offspring, specifically for the purposes of killing the sons of Sparta. So yeah, he can manipulate their information and data, and he can make a being directly from that information, which is Gilbert and the Angelos.
Which, I mean, makes sense, because he also made, you know, the plasmas that can do the exact same thing as Gilva.
Oh yeah, no, the plasmids can do the same thing. Also, fighting the plasmids is also considered a skill feat, because they can take all of your abilities, your actions, and anything that they can see, and can emulate that and copy it right back at you, which means they need to be intelligent and skilled enough to actually use that. If you argue the plasmids don't have intelligence, then that means they instinctively are able to fight anybody and copy their abilities. Why? Just like as fighters without any sort of intelligence. That would mean that they are naturally better fighters than most martial artists out there with not a brain cell. This is if you assume that they're not intelligent. I don't assume that the plasmids are not intelligent. I don't think that that's... I think their fighting abilities kind of disprove that. I think they're a smarter demon than most demons. Oof. And in terms of other feats, I mean, he's fought like sorcerers, basically alchemists. He's fought multiple different types of sword users between people who have like dual wielded and whatnot. He's fought like pretty much every single person under the sun, and he's also been able to master pretty much most techniques on the fly. And then now we have a statement from POC that states he is an almost perfect being capable of mastering anything. Even without that statement, we had enough evidence to suggest that he could beat most characters in a martial artist fight, even without the use of his weapons. But now we just have an example that he can just master any technique he sees immediately.
Which is, like, terrifying for a lot of his opponents.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at least the plasmids are over here like, yeah, we're created to do that. Dante's not created specifically to copy your abilities. He's not created to regenerate. He's not created to, like, analyze your techniques. He can just do it. That's not like his win con. That's just a feature that he possesses. It's like saying someone is known for having, like, you know, this trademark car that has all these, like, really cool features. And then the person's like, no, not really. Like, that's just one asset that I have at my disposal alongside, like, this house or this hideout or base of operations I have. Like, this very cool job that I'm working with, a lot of hobbies and skills that I have. It's just one thing I have at my disposal just because it's so, like, good at its own station that, like, most people would be lucky to have that thing doesn't mean that's the thing that, like, I specialize in. It just means I'm at a better position than most other people. Also, Argosax, since he subdued most of the demon world, so he'd just be a skilled combatant. Well, the funny thing about that is that, well, he would have technically been stronger if Argosax was able to subdue all the demons in the demon world. Then that means he would have had to fight them. So you can basically assume that he would have had to fight, like, every person, or that he at least chose to. And that was when he was a blob. Like, he was a blob, and he did that. That's kind of why I'm assuming he just kind of overpowered them. But even then, like, you know, Dante also has feats of fighting against Mundus, Argosax, Urizen, Demon Kings in general. So, you know, he's able to fight people who can see events and things beyond time, space, can analyze their opponents, have access to like composite EMC powers via being like Demon Kings and whatnot. He has the feats of fighting people who have an absurdly stupid like arsenal that they can use at their disposal whenever they want to. And he still usually beats them. Even when he loses, he finds some way to like cheat his way out of a total loss. Favorite skill forms and appearance and action, something like Kabi, which is one of the best power memories you can find in an official setting. It is pretty good. I've actually read through some of JoJo's. I can technically complete the second part of that list thing because I had made a I think I told you I made a list before of a fun little video that I would do because I wanted to examine like the power creep between a lot of abilities in DMC versus other abilities in like video games and shonen anime. And I thought of going and finding an example of something in shonen anime. I haven't gone through One Piece for this, but I hadn't gone through JoJo's before I did, so now I can actually look at a lot of the stand powers in JoJo's to see how many of them actually line up with some of the main abilities of DMC. And I'd have to go through like the guides and stuff like that to get like a proper analysis, but I'm pretty sure there are examples of abilities in DMC that do exactly the same thing, but they're just generally better than the stand in question.
Probably. Have you been through part 7 yet?
I've started part 7. I kind of forgot. Well, like I knew what the general plot is, but I forgot like where it was. I've at least gone through, you know, parts 1 through 6, so
I
know part 9 has started,
haven't got
but
through true JoJo's.
Shut your mouth. I'm getting there.
Part 7 is peak. What are you doing?
I'm not reading it.
You will read part 7, you whore.
I mean, maybe I should just buy part 7 then, at that point. Then I'd have to read it. It usually gets me going.
You're worse than I am at spending money.
Not really. I mean, my birthday's coming up. So, less than a month from now. Or exactly a month. Wait. What's today?
I'm reading the 8th. No, today is the 5th. Or 4th.
Okay.
Would you like to say all the numbers of the month? You'll get it right.
It's probably, I think, either 30 or 31 days from now. The 5th of September. Basically a month. Why don't we go rest?
All martial arts? Based on what evidence?
Like 10 10? I mean, I don't know any other. Well, no, that's not true. I actually do know a few cans in my life. Ooh, we got a lot of spirit emblems. I really wish they'd given more than one per option, because having only one is kind of trash. Let's see, Thing and Blade.
No, he's probably butthurt since he had deal with Ghetto Jin and got slammed. What?
Wait, what happened?
Cypher, is English not your first language? I don't understand what the fuck you're saying.
I would like to read what he's saying, but the stupid fucking... Okay, there's a stupid fucking, like, heart-shaped icon with emojis in the corner, which is covering up the words. Since he had to deal with Gato Jin and got slammed. That doesn't tell us anything.
Yeah, that's why he's rephrasing that. I already asked him to rephrase it. Yeah, I don't mean to be rude, man, but, like, I can't understand what the fuck you're saying with that.
You know what? I've come to the conclusion of them.
What?
I played Final Fantasy IV for like half an hour, and it's wondrous when you're not trying to copy Final Fantasy I's story, but basically slightly longer, which is Final Fantasy III. You actually have a good story going.
Oh, so you like their experimental phase?
Dude, 2 was a great story. 3 is such a massive overcorrection. 3 is just 1 but longer.
I don't think I ever asked you. How did you end up feeling about the level up mechanic for 2?
It was a little bit jarring at first, but once you understand how it works, it's perfectly fine.
Do you think they made the right call in never bringing it back?
It was the right call not bringing it back, but where they fucked up was when they did 3, they basically just said, yeah, we're going to get rid of the story with it, and we're just going to go back to being like a primitive story like 1 had. It's just like, why? You didn't need to do such a massive overcorrection.
Okay. Jin debated Ken some time ago on Dante vs. Kratos, and he lost after he started Cope, and after that... Wait, he accepted a loss against Dante vs. Kratos? That's not like the Ken Lom I know.
I know they lost to Jin on something, but I feel like that's it definitely doesn't sound like him. What was it over?
Wait.
What did he lose on specifically?
And he started coping and saying that the judgment was biased, even though he did debate the judge on his judgment and lost. That's funny.
He debated the judge after the debate?
No.
That's not what you're supposed to do. That's improper etiquette.
No. Fuck you guys on this one. I can respect going up against the judge because I would have gone up against the judge in my Fist of the North Star debate, so I would have to see how this judge was, but that's funny he lost the second debate.
Oh, I know why that happened.
What?
I don't know why that happened. Just like we already have history of him arguing with the judge. What happened in my debate with him? Bet you that's the only time.
He brought his own fucking judge, and he still lost 3-0.
This is why I kind of don't like debates because they're based more on the judge. They're based on what the judges say, and you can have issues with the judges' rulings.
Well, you can have issues with the judge's ruling, but that's very rarely going to change their position on it after the fact.
Hello, Red Dust.
I think the bigger issue is that without a judge, you're basically just trying to convince your opponent, no. You're trying to convince your opponent under the hope that your opponent is a rational human being.
Ken Lom, the guy who used to show up on the streams.
So basically,
really
he tried another...
The guy that used to show up on the streams.
So what you telling me is that he tried another Dante vs. Kratos debate, lost, and then threw a hissy fit.
Oh, you have not been seeing what he's been doing in fucking... What's it called? King Tiger server, have you?
He's still there? I should really leave King Tiger server. I don't
I have
anything.
not. Why is he still there?
So he was brought back because they're trying to milk him, but from what I understood, He's providing some memberships or shit to them. I don't know. That's all. You'd have to ask the mods or whatever the fuck's going on there. I don't know the full context of what they want. But basically, he has some mod permits, and he doesn't talk that often because he doesn't want to get in trouble. And every time he gets his mod permits retracted, he leaves the server and then rejoins to get them back after he gets kicked. Or not after he gets kicked. After he gets restricted.
Right.
The hell?
It's weird.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. You're talking Overzim's answer. Red Dusk, yeah, Ken lost. So what is he doing on the server, Mangler?
So he's been making threads. Every time he makes a thread, he specifically makes a thread on debating Dante versus Kratos. He literally started one of them, and he's deleted it now, where he says Kratos bullies Dante into a coma. And he just goes and argues against normal people that don't have any knowledge of either of the source material. Just make something provocative, debate people into an argument.
So he's literally at the point where he doesn't debate people who knows their shit. He literally just goes up to people who knows nothing about either.
No, he just goes and debates ignorant people, which is kind of funny because he himself knows nothing about the series he's debating.
So what you're telling me is that the circle has been completed and now he is the master.
I mean, if that's how you want to look at it, sure.
So at this point, he's taken multiple losses to the same debate, and now he's basically just coping.
I mean, he's been coping ever since he lost to me.
I mean, I've been coping too if my own judge voted against me.
I don't know why he cared that much. Like, it was just a discussion that we had. That was it. He could have just moved on with his life, but he's like, no, I had to take that personally. And yeah, you didn't do any fucking research, you dumbass. Like,
to be fair, he was winning that debate until he decided to say that time was in the fourth dimension and completely changed the premise of the debate.
I call that debatable, but
literally the perfect example of do not get in your own way. That debate.
Well, so we kind of, I think we kind of established this, but like, even though I was on the defensive, I literally disproved his idea of a higher dimensional Kratos with the evidence that had been provided. So he didn't really have an argument for being able to kill Dante. Actually, we hadn't even gotten the hacks yet. But furthermore, I find it more interesting that he's over there claiming that Dante doesn't have, like, martial arts when it's like, you've never read the source material. Why are you even opening your mouth without it getting slammed violently shut? Like, in what universe do you have a right to have, like, do you have an earned opinion? Because this is just an asshole opinion. You know?
He's saying Dante doesn't know martial arts? What the fuck do you think Dante does with his gauntlets then?
No. I was referencing what Cypher said, where he says he has L martial arts. Because I think I've heard him say before that Dante gets slammed in martial arts by a lot of other characters, and I'm sitting there trying to, like, process that. Yeah, no, there's no way to get past that.
L means loss. Next Friday, any chance of starting the stream on 5 p.m. on your time instead? No, but Red Dusk, my Saturday streams will be back up starting next week, so you don't have to worry about so there will be a stream you can catch now throughout the week. My Saturday streams are coming back. There's a video will be done today, and my college ends on Monday, but that's just this weekend. So next Saturday we'll be back to the normal Saturday streams being back up again, so you'll be able to hang out on that stream again. I can't do 5 p.m. Friday though, because I have commitments later in the day. No, I mean when Mangler and Dante said Dante has L martial arts, what does the L there mean? Loss. Like, it means like he's a loser.
Like bad martial arts. Yeah, like martial arts that are so bad, it would proct him like a loss.
Which,
Now I'm
I
sitting
don't know
over here
why
like,
we're talking about
man.
martial arts when you got fucking Kratos, bro. I haven't seen Kratos throw a fucking martial art technique fucking once. I don't even think his grapples are Spartan grapples.
No, they aren't. No, not the poo! He threw poo at me.
Ghetto Jin, why is that name so familiar?
That's a guy that was in our server, I think, at some point. Probably still is.
No, I think he left. Forgot why though. Well, I guess good to hear he's doing well. You got pegged by Pooh. What are you gonna do about it? He's right, Mangler. What are you gonna do about it? You got pegged by Pooh.
Try to do something about it. Maybe if you just wait a little bit, and you'll find out.
Do it right now.
Possibly.
Because he used to be in your server and won multiple debates with Dante. He even used to in a martial arts tournament. Good for him.
I mean, it's not really that difficult to win debates in martial arts with Dante. Just show, like, a couple passages from 1 and 2 novel, and then just, like, be like, yeah, so what does your character actually do?
I'm glad you asked. Pulls out his 11 Fists of the North Star Bibles. How much time do you have? Son of a bitch. Well, now that I have my card back, I can go get my cards printed. I'm gonna be honest, I saw the messages you sent, but I'm probably not gonna read Ken's copium, because I know Ken, and I'd rather, like, you know, like, I literally banned him from the channel because of fucking all of his lies and shit.
Who's lying?
Confetti. Where is the confetti? There it is.
Ken Law, I banned Ken Law from the channel because of all the lies.
Well, that and also because he came in here and started being a fucking menace on stream.
Yeah, that's a good reason as well. Yeah.
I mean, I think I kind of understand. I think I kind of understand how he's actually like. Because if you think about it, I don't even think Ken Lom and fucking Kev even argue for multi-creators anymore. They still argue for like Unity Plus, don't they?
Yeah, they argue he's multiversal, but they don't argue he's multi-plus.
Did him and Kev harass Samaj? Yes and no. So this one gets a little complicated. So they definitely were aggro with Samaj, but Samaj, if I recall correctly, did throw some shade first, and they were more so not harassing him. They were attacking his arguments. They were just being assholes about how they were doing it. So they weren't technically harassing him specifically. Kyle, what was the worst Ruby hot take that you've heard?
Ruby has a good plot.
Hey, hold on a minute now, Kyle. It has a great plot. Just look on the internet for it. It's not there in the story.
No, it doesn't have great plot. It has great porn, but it doesn't have great plot.
That's the plot to me.
That great fun is not getting renewed for a season 10 though.
Dude, if Ruby
Okay, can you please die?
Well, no, she did not. Because they will just always, it's always a cop-out Mangler with Ruby. It's never true. It's always a
No,
cop-out.
that was not what I was asking for. I was talking to the fucking ape that
Oh.
literally had his head cut off and he wouldn't just fucking die.
Mangler, some people don't die when their heads are cut off. Some people don't get renewed for a 10th season. It's the same thing.
I'm still very interested in the fact that it's not getting renewed for a 10th season yet. They're usually very quick about announcing when it's getting renewed.
It must not be getting as much profits as they were hoping for. I'm sorry, man, but you can't all be One Piece. I mean, you can't all last like 10 fucking years and expect it to all be peak. I'm sorry. Or Hunter x Hunter.
Wait,
Because Hunter x Hunter around
does
20
anyone
years.
know? Does anyone know if Nightjar Slash works in midair?
I've never played this game, so I won't answer that. Kyle, it's not Salem can beat
I'm
this
kinda
character in a
excited.
fight because she can't die. I mean, Salem could beat... Well, actually, no. Salem can't beat characters in the fight unless you argue for endurance, because she couldn't even technically beat Hazel.
England missed the opportunity
The
to
only
call
thing
him a
carrying the only thing carrying Salem is her immortality. That's the shit thing, is that with the Hazel fight literally shows that she's not that intimidating of a final villain. It's only her immortality that carries her, otherwise she'd get bodied by everyone under her.
They said don't know Mangler, so you're going to have to risk it if you want to grab it. You're going to have to risk it for the biscuit.
Well, I'm just gonna buy the ones that I can use then.
Like, I think you and me were talking about this, where it's just like, that was the biggest problem with Salem.
Yeah. Because she's not intimidating if I can shove her into a box and leave her there. Honestly,
If every character there can basically, like, body her into the ground, but she's only intimidating because she keeps coming back due to immortality, that's not intimidating. Just find a way to seal her.
no, just have a 24-hour around-the-clock regimen where you just have people fighting her non-stop. Everyone does it for like an hour and then they move on. Well, because she like takes like a few minutes to come back each time, so it's not like you have to fight her constantly forever.
The shifting about Salem is that the two people that people want her to go up against in terms of a versus match, both of them have ways of negating her immortality and immediately killing her.
Who the fuck are her opponents in a versus match? You guys always have the weirdest versus matches.
From what I've seen, they want Arden versus Salem, but the Star Scourge can literally immediately kill her and negate her immortality, and Zeref's death magic literally would fuck her immortality into the dirt.
Why do you guys always have the weirdest fucking matchups? Every time you tell me about matchups with characters, they're weird as shit. Where are the connections? What's the similarities?
There's more similarities for Zeref versus Salem than there is Arden.
The only similarity
But it's just that
Go on.
I can get you a list of connections later, but it's not a very close fight.
Even if you believe Final Fantasy is as weak as some people think it is, Arden still beats Salem because his immortality is just better than hers. The Star Scourge will probably just consume all the Grim anyways. Unless you want to argue the Grim can resist it, but even then, like, the Star Scourge will just keep getting stronger.
Where is...
Issei walks through God of War, also beating Salem is just keep beating her till her mind breaks from pain and suffering. I'm sure there's a hentai about that somewhere. Zim, going back to Ruby Rose matchup, there can be way more similarities characters can have with her than being a scythe wielder. Yeah, but who do you even give for a Ruby Rose matchup, like, in general? Because, like, okay, fine, let's say Maka's not her matchup. Okay, who else then? Like, what, do we say Deku? Do we say Tanjiro? Like, who are the matchups here? Actually, I think she might be Tanjiro in mine, actually.
For Ruby?
Yeah, ignore the side part for a minute, and we go with character and shit. Like, who's her next matchup, then? I think Tanjiro fits, technically. Deku?
I guess if you're gonna go that route... No, I guess Deku because they would both have like that nerdy connection of stuff that they really like.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Anyway, I have to go out, so I'll talk to you boys later.
Later, Kyle. Oh, you already left. I need to figure out how to get to the Miipu village. Wait, do I not have... No, I don't have the mid-air thing.
Oh, son of a gun. I'm going to be very busy Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, probably.
I'm going to be mildly busy on those days. Assuming I, don't fucking get stuck here for the next 48 hours dying in these areas.
Deku, BB Hood. Who the hell is BB Hood?
What is a Deku?
Main
You're
character
talking
of My
like
Hero Academia.
the Legend of Zelda? Oh,
Wow, you think
not
you're
the
funny
Deku I
with
was
your
thinking.
you think you're funny with your boomer ass references?
I think I am funny enough.
You're wrong. I should probably leave like an hour early from when the tournament starts to freaking go get the paper cards. The Little Red Riding Hood girl with guns from Darkstalkers. I've never played Darksiders or Darkstalkers. Not Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers.
I barely played Darksiders too. I hate
I
that
assure
fucking.
you, there is no Little Red Riding Hood in those games.
I fucking hate the little heart emoji on the right that blocks some of the message.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?
It's very fucking inconvenient. Like, who the fuck put it there?
Like, every time someone says something at the end of their sentence that's like 2 or 3 letters long, if they're saying to something or do something, it just gets covered up completely by the heart, and I'm just like, I can't read. How could you do something so despicable?
For reals.
Oh, the serpent's gone.
So yeah, I just don't know what I'm gonna stream next Saturday to start the Saturday streams up again. I'm not gonna do Cyberpunk because Cyberpunk's getting a brand new update in like 2 months. So what to play that can entertain you? Well, I guess I could go play Nier Replicant. I still have to play that for Nier lore. Since I'm pushing the Final Fantasy 15 video back for Nier Automata. Fuck Kyle. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I'm not upset. Why would you guys think I'm upset?
Scope. I know.
Son of a God.
Ka-ching. Let's upgrade that prosthetic. Let's go.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was upgrading weapons. Nothing crazy.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Very convenient. Very convenient excuse. A classic PS1 or Xbox game? Oh, yeah, I could stream one of those.
Please.
It's quite funny seeing that Ken, that him and his gang had asked Kate's permission to record him, even though that's a blatant lie. Well, okay, so I can either play Persona 3, or I can play Dino Crisis, an old PS1 survival horror game made by Capcom that's beloved.
Just play fucking Exoprimal. The same thing.
No, it's not! Shut the fuck up! Don't you ever insult Dino Crisis in this house again like that!
Are you telling me that if I were to look up some footage right now of Dino Crisis and compare it to Exoprimal, I wouldn't be looking at the same game?
Mangler, this is a
I
PS1
wouldn't just be
game
like,
made...
would
Go
just
ahead!
be like
Go ahead!
Pam from The Office.
Go ahead!
Do you see these two photos? They're the same photo.
Go ahead! Go ahead! Do it! Look up Dino Crisis PS1 gameplay! Do it! Make my fucking day!
You should play Time Crisis? Oh, you should play Time Crisis if you can play it. Wait, did Time Crisis release on the Xbox?
I don't fucking know.
It was probably on the PS1.
Yeah, I'm on the PS1.
Bro, if you can play Time Crisis, play Time Crisis. That is a sick game. I would play that with you if I could.
Well, I'll check the website Kyle sent me for options. But I think I'll play a classic game with you guys instead of like a new game. I don't think you guys enjoy the new games as much. Or at least I don't enjoy streaming them as much because it's so much shit I gotta keep track of.
Actually, you should play Time Crisis 2. That's the best one.
He just keeps adding more and more. It doesn't stop.
No, play that one instead of 1. Because one's alright, but 2 is really where it's solid.
Apparently, Kyle told me the Ken's Rage games are technically on the website, so we'll see what happens there. Either that, or maybe I'll treat you guys to good old Spider-Man PS1. You know, the good Spider-Man games, not this trash.
What you mean, Ultimate Spider-Man?
I could play Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man's pretty good.
I don't think there are any PS1 Spider-Man games, unless I'm mistaken.
There are. There were 2 fucking gold mines of perfection. They were immaculate. PS2 movie tie-in games were pretty spicy. Actually, like even the Spider-Man movie games were really fucking good.
I don't know where to go.
Well, the stream's gonna be over in like 10, 15 minutes anyways.
Alright, then I'll spend those next 10, 20 minutes figuring out where to go.
Elzim. It's not an L take, boys. It's not an L take. I don't do L takes. All I get are dubs.
No gold seeds.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man game errors where they have you fall to your death point despite Spider-Man having plenty of time to shoot a web to save himself before he hits the ground. Yep, he knows what I'm talking about. Red Dust knows what it's about.
Goodbye. I know it.
Mangler knows about your L takes. Bro, all I have are W takes, just like my matchups are all W's as well. Once the versus videos start coming out, you guys are going to be like, damn, Zim's got all these great matchups. Everyone's just wrong.
I don't expect I'll be hearing that anytime soon.
Shut up, Mangler.
Oh yes, we've got the long spark now.
You have not uploaded in quite the while? Yes, because I've been working on the Aerosite video, which I will never subtitle a video again because that was a terrible fucking mistake, and I deserve and all my suffering has been pointless.
glad.
No, but straight up, subtitling the video, which the subtitles aren't even all that great either. I gave up like near the very end, like in the last 10 minutes, I gave up like doing accurate subtitling.
Something wrong?
Well,
They added like an extra 2 weeks of work onto the video. I never should have subtitled it. That was such a massive mistake.
oh,
Mangler, can you prove the Zim only W takes?
You do?
yes. I was
No.
rescued by a monkey.
What do you
after
mean you
all.
can't prove it, Mangler? What do you mean? Why are you implying I have L takes in any
You don't
capacity?
believe me, do you? When I was young,
I mean, don't the numbers next to our name kind of prove that already, that you took L's?
And stared,
No,
dumbfounded.
that's not possible.
I could do nothing, neither cry nor even get angry.
I mean, the fact that I've chosen not to participate in the contest past that one time we did it
A monkey.
should speak volumes
Maybe an ape.
about you having, W takes.
He made it look.
It happens a
All my
lot, and I'd say
takes
you have
are
W takes
W's.
pretty good,
Tasted.
What a cunt.
like, a lot, pretty consistently. But there are some times where you have some L takes.
Never. I don't possess
Never?
L
Oh,
takes.
okay.
For those of you who are on the Discord server, we have points by our names, and those points are based on winning debates against people or winning arguments against people in the debates.
Lord, my lord.
Yes.
So Kyle's tied with me, but Kyle picked up straggler points from other people. So it's not really the same thing.
So it wasn't just for that reason. It was also because of games that we were playing where we competed against each other. Was how it started. It evolved into other things. I stopped participating with the debate shit because I was not interested in
And
that
also,
crap.
Mangler doesn't feel like squaring up in Marvel's Capcom Infinite because he hates the hitboxes.
What are you talking about? I literally have no problem with playing Infinite. I've argued that it's a more fun game than what Capcom 3 is.
I dominated you in Infinite just like I dominate you in UMVC 3.
I remember that differently, but if you want to hop on, we can prove that.
Yes.
Can't right now at the current moment. Sorry.
Convenient.
None of you guys even read the book! Stop saying Ren!
I have to really ask the question of why there are random birds' nests around this castle with random, even more random items, like purses of coins sitting inside of them, just waiting for someone to pick them up.
Where's the Zim cam?
What were the night? Never.
I decided to get rid of the camera for most of the streams because usually it's not me streaming. So there's no real point having my camera up because I'm usually not, like, emoting. Once my streams start back up, I'll probably put my cameras back on. But for most of these streams, there's no point.
It is also very, very distracting for some of the videos that we've done when your head is in the corner, especially for the God of War one. I've had so many people message me about, like, man, I didn't know this is what you look like. I'm like, that's not me.
Okay, first off, that's just people being freaking retarded and not realizing that, this isn't your channel. I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with them. But, to be fair,
That's what I said. I was just like, this is not my channel. Well, it's also like, in those streams, usually it's not your stream, it's someone else's stream. It's their footage, but your head is in the corner, so they're like, oh, this must be your video. And I'm like, there's so much wrong with what you just said there.
Yeah, so that's why for the purposes of videos that are with streams with other people, I just don't put my face up anymore. There's no point.
Where's the Mangler cam? There is no Mangler cam.
Bruh.
Mangler does not have a cam.
Mangler's the only person who I've never seen what they look like among the entire circle of people I've met.
So yes, people.
Devil doxed himself at one point by accident. Don't show me what he looks like. He looks like a bigger version of Eminem.
Wow. I was just gonna say that, what's it fucking called? In the events,
Mangler is a calculator somewhere.
He just meets me for the first time at a restaurant, and it's just a calculator sitting on a table.
It's
Like, where
this,
are you? I'm right here.
This is exactly what I expected. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, no. Devil is blonde. Maybe a dirty blonde. Oh no, I think he looks like Dave Grohl. I think Kyle disagree with me though. And Mangler, from the few times I've heard about his appearance, if I recall correctly, is black-haired, average weight now, but used to be a black hole, and wears glasses, if I remember correctly.
Sure.
You did see Kyle as well? Yeah, I've actually seen what Kyle looks like.
Yes, what
Because, like, what... A black hole? Yeah, if you've been on the streams long enough, you would have heard a story about Mangler saying that his metabolism in high school was, like, hyperactive.
Still is.
Okay, so he's still thin then.
Yeah, well, it's like no matter what I eat, I cannot gain weight.
My brother used to have that.
Generally.
And then his metabolism failed him, and now let's hope yours doesn't do the same.
Or if I do gain weight, it's not dispersed evenly around my body.
He is thin, he has better hacks than you guys. I'm actually thin now. I weigh 172.
They've been doing some pretty good weight loss recently. That's what you've been telling us.
Well, I went from 225, 230 to, for the first time in my life, dropping under like 200. And all it took was just getting rid of soda.
Love handles, I assume. What the hell is a love handle?
That's what they call when the fat goes onto the side of your chest area. Like on your hips.
No.
Alright. They are supposed to be in Japan, but they do not sound Japanese. I don't think this is confirmed to be Japan, to be fair. I think it's just some Eastern-inspired area. I don't think it's actually meant to be based on any...
It is somewhere in Japan.
Then never mind.
It's stated to be in the beginning, it's stated to be in the Sengoku area. It's happening during the Sengoku era of Japan.
I was gonna say, did you just say Sengoku area, you fucking swine? It's Sengoku era, you fucking troglodyte.
That's what I meant to say.
God, I'm so mad on behalf of all the Japanese people, and I'm not even Japanese.
Alright, look, a bell.
I'll have to work on this assignment a little later. But thankfully, I am currently... Okay, so currently I've managed to clear almost 2 pages. So tonight, while I'm rendering the video, I might be able to clear half the assignment if I just go for it. I'm not going to do research. So Mangler evolved further. He will turn into a black hole and kill the universe. The Hall of Illusion will stay to be between life and death, by the way, Mangler. Source. Yeah. So, the Fist of North Star guidebook I got, the ones I got recently, I'm almost done translating the small book. You know the one I told you about, Mangler, that I wasn't sure about getting? Well, I did find an actual official, like, licensing thing there. So, yep, it's fair game. Sweet. Nguyen? What's up, lads? How you guys doing? Got lucky. I went to the local book fair in my neighborhood. Managed to get 2 volumes of Kill la Kill. And the first one I Rent a Girlfriend because I hate myself. Why would you? Yeah, that's the right way to say it. Because Rent a Girlfriend is not something you should ever willingly buy. Just read the memory from the monkeys. Lies. So, I'm gonna hopefully get the updated cards today, Newhan, from the store, and then hopefully, if my project's going well on Sunday, I can take like a 2-hour break and we can test out that place on Vanguard. If you want to test out Digimon deck, I guess we can do that. I'm gonna see if I can't get the game made on that browser app I've been talking about, and if I can, I'm gonna force the people I know to play it. Mainly Mangler, Kyle, and Devil, because I don't know anyone else really who'd be willing to do it. They wouldn't be willing to do it either. I'm just gonna make them.
What's happening?
I'm gonna force you to test out my card game.
No.
Yes. Mangler,
What am I testing out?
a card game.
What card game?
Mine. You wouldn't have to buy anything, ideally, or anything like that.
Oh, your card game. I thought you meant no. I'd be happy to help with that if you need some help. I thought you meant like a other card game, and was like, fuck no.
No, I have Newman for that, and Newman technically has me for that because he just fucking tells me about a card game. I'm like, oh, this seems cheap. I'll buy it. Yeah, why not? What's the worst that could happen?
Please die, Red Monkey.
No.
Please die, Invisible Monkey. Or See-Through Monkey.
Why do you keep killing monkeys?
Because this is a boss battle. Somehow.
What a strange boss battle.
This is a very strange boss battle. Go all the way around the corner.
Yeah. And now Newman's free to work with other people now. He has the Monkey Slayers in. So what you're saying is that Mangler should never be allowed outside the United States. Got it. It's a good thing he's in Texas. Otherwise, the cultural diversity elsewhere might cause him some repercussions. I don't know. If he's this brutal about killing monkeys, I don't know how far his actual opinions lie. Very, very suspicious.
Wait, can't I just shoot him with the shuriken?
Oh, fuck! No wonder he wants to be a police officer. I have no idea what you're talking about. You got it. If we have time, we can test it out on Saturday. We can try Digimon instead since my new Vanguard stuff comes next week. They also have plenty of volumes of Full Metal Alchemist on sale. Not those monkeys, Lamel. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just talking about normal monkeys at the zoo. What are you talking about? Honestly, Cypher, you got some weird thoughts in your head, bro. Mangler, Bulbasaur's order from SpongeBob or Big Smoke's order from GTA San Andreas?
I've never played GTA San Andreas.
Really? I'm actually surprised there.
I
Real
haven't
boss
played
battle?
really any of the GT games.
Didn't you play Vice City? Or is that Kyle?
Well, okay, I think I played that one mobile one.
Oh, you mean Chinatown
Was that Vice
Stories?
City? Yeah, I think I played China or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Ozra stuff finished first, and then the other dudes, and then I might take a break to work with the comic. Sounds good, mate. Oh, Newman, you made a pretty penny this last month. Between Kyle and me, you must be rolling in dough. So yeah, no, you definitely have the finances to keep going and work on your own stuff for probably a bit. Also gives me time to put money aside for savings for like the next fucking deck. I'd rather not get hit with that pricing right away. I'm gonna take like $50 out my paycheck every 2 weeks to alleviate that blow a little bit. Question from Mangler: Halo Vulture versus AT-AT, which vehicle wins?
Vulture. But considering the Pelican, which is weaker than the Vulture, can shred the Phantom, I'm inclined to believe they probably have a higher firepower than what the AT-AT can handle. Actually, technically, the Vulture could just fly high enough, and the AT-AT wouldn't really be able to hit it. Its head can only angle at certain spots, and it doesn't really have any substitute turrets. Like, it's just main primary turret, and it's really it.
The AT-AT was one of the stupidest, like, designs that you know was only made for toys.
You know, it was made for toys, and was kind of cool, but then, like, tactically speaking, you're like, what in the world does this do other than inspire, like, traditional forms of, like, battlefield, I don't know, like, fucking fear. Like, it's just meant to demoralize your opponent. Like, oh, hey, look at the giant walking towers of a weapon that my enemy has brought to the battlefield. If only we didn't have, like, aircraft or guerrilla tactics or anything that we could use to take care of them. Oh, wait.
It should have been
militaries?
It should have been built on wheels, and it would have been an infinitely better design.
Minority Hunter Zoro versus Monkey Slayer.
Oh, it's a tough
Minority
matchup.
Hunter
Yeah, it's
is
a joke.
Zoro.
It's a joke because most of Zoro's opponents are a minority.
Are you saying Zoro's a racist?
I'm just saying that he didn't think he could beat King until he saw that King was dark skinned, and then he was pretty confident he could win.
So you're saying there's a connection?
I'm saying that Zoro's power might be quantifiably connected. Even Pika? Pika is dark skinned in the anime. Yeah, Pika would fall under dark skinned. I'm trying to think if there's one opponent Zoro's ever had that wasn't like dark skinned in some way, shape, or form, or a minority of some kind. Because even the fishmen count as minorities. I remember seeing this funny meme I talked about where it's Zoro crying, and it's no, it's not Zoro crying. It's the Punisher no 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 meme, and it says Zoro's reaction when he realizes because he has Conqueror's Hockey, he is now a minority. Dark humor.
He's
What
like, to
about?
defeat evil, I have become evil.
You're right. You're right. So the giraffe guy is technically white, but he is a minority because he's a devil fruit user.
They only sought to keep me hidden.
I don't know how those monkeys were supposed to keep her hidden. That doesn't even make sense.
To be fair, how many people would actually go chase him down the way you did?
But that's more so due to the mechanism of their powers being in place and that you would have to chase them. Wouldn't it just be easier to put like an invisible seal or something than have people chase 4 fucking monkeys?
No.
Also, it didn't even work. Ganishiro clearly got the monkeys because he
No.
went to the rejuvenating waters.
Lies.
Now 2 people have gotten here. Maybe multiple, because Tomoe also went to the Fountainhead Palace. How many
They say
people have
that.
met
Now
these
there are 2
girls?
people who made it.
I'm sorry, what?
No, I just like the way you add that in. Now there's 2 people who made it in.
More than that now.
So yes. Alright, so then I think with that, since Mangler finished his boss fight, to be fair, Tomoe originates from the Palace Mangler. Okay. I think with that, we'll go ahead and end the stream here for today. So, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, my normal streams will be back up. And by then, our site will be out, and I'll probably be doing some light research for Fallout New Vegas. It's on sale right now on Steam, I think for the whole game franchise for like $5 for all DLC. I don't know. Maybe in our new 7 New Vegas streams. Maybe. I don't know. I've already streamed New Vegas once. I don't think I should stream it again. And I don't feel like playing Fallout 3 because Fallout 3 sucks. So, we'll see what happens next week. But with that said, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next streamer video. Take care, everybody.